stress, no biggie. Baby, I'm just too jiggy. Better know I brought that with me. Case they get too iffy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it. Put it all on my daddy. Know how I'm coming. And they know what we hate. Run around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN. Working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out. Cause all of my hitters too deep in. With a boy, I'm so ashamed. Ain't worried about long as my money and my green. Baby, I ain't got work tomorrow. Tell me what the business is. Ain't about no club hop. I'm trying to start some businesses. Shorty, you thought it was, they better know it's not that. Talking all that online, they knowing that it's not fact. Sliding through my hood, I make maneuvers like a Uber, baby. Got a 10-year plan, these can't tell what they doing lately. And I'm way too clean, I'm Listerine, I thought they been knew it. All in my lungs, I got my red cup full of that Henny fluid. Young middle Mad Mac, I'm swinging that leg, I'm banging that do or die. And I ain't that Lily before I get crucified. Living in my bloodline, this place in my family tree. How the they pressed, I did my best out of what they handed me. Straight out of that country, know my shawty thick as human air. And I need not mention no extensions, that's human hair. Boy, we grew in there. Around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN. Working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out. Cause all of my hitters too deep in. So no stress, no biggie. Baby, I'm just too jiggy. Better know I brought that with me. Case they get too iffy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it. Put it all on my daddy. Know how I'm coming. And they know what we had. Be that left side, low end. That left side, low end. That left side, low end. That left side, low end.
We were living in some projects, and they were new projects.
Yeah.
They had hot and cold running water. They had hot and cold running water, baby.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
Back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the by my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get him, I got him, I told him it's nothing. In the discussion, all them feelings, I throw all my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you almost spotted the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about old. I'm on they now, can't get a pass now. I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. It's trash now, I'ma spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the skies the proof. You could just see in my eyes that there is no lies. I cannot disguise the truth. I've been duck dog, getting in my new merch, color duck sauce on the new couch with my Chucks on. Get the on with that hate. I'm big cool on the small chat, cause I know now that I'm all that. Got a hawk guy on the ball cat. Get the out of my face.
Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
I'm your Huckleberry.
That's right, bitch. DJ Keenan Kilos, Idle Hands, aka the Mad Hands, Great Babe, aka Mr. Slate, Young Yachty, Tank the Backstabber, aka Tanky Two Life. Get some, nigga. So when it drop out the hit, you can't find no good shit. Come and see me at the spot, you know I keep that good. When it comes to 16, I'm so fresh and so clean. And to get on my team, boy, you have to be.
I got your bitches to pumps, I got that pump in the trunk, pussy's a pump in the trunk, nigga, I'm pussy, nigga, you fake. I'm on the rims that skate, I love for niggas to hate, nigga, I'm selling dope, got me lightweight, ballin' and shit. Ain't got no time for no stalling and shit. Fuck the late night calling a bitch. I'm on the corner trying to get rich quick. MOB, that's money over bitch. It was me, Great Bape, and that boy Young Yachty.
Yeah, y'all ain't know the Slim Reaper could rap, did you? I bet y'all didn't know the Slim Reaper could rap. Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, DMG the Poet, aka Brother Pianki. And we got an interesting show for you today, because I got some questions. But before I get into those questions, let me do my usual spiel. Let me say God bless to my Christian brothers and sisters. Shout out to my brothers in the one. Let me say hotep to my Kemetic brothers and sisters. Salute to the Temple of Het Heru, led by my mentor, Baba Saber Morris Neferu. Let me say shalom to my Israelite brothers and sisters. Big shout out to my brother Captain K, the Gal Gabor of ISUPK, under Commanding General Yohana. Let me say Islam to my Moorish brothers and sisters. Let me say assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters in the NOI. Let me say peace to my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth, them 5%ers. Shout out to the God body, Marlon Simmons. Let me say what's up to all my Abo brothers and sisters. Shout out to all my atheists brothers and sisters. Big ups to all my Rasta brothers and sisters. I want to give a big fist bump to all my flat earth brothers and sisters. Yeah, I had to add y'all. We got my brother Takori coming on one of these days. And last but not least, Jumbo, to the rest of my brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you're black, I'm with you, and I hope you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can't have unity without uniformity. We can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. Shout out to the Slim Reaper. Now, that being said, I want to kick this off by saying, once again, I apologize to my brother, Neo One Love. I should have conducted that panel a little more, a little better, made sure everybody had a chance to speak. I was getting to you, though, bro. A couple people hit me up, said you lost respect for me and all of that. If that's true, hey, that's what's up. I still respect you. Long as you don't disrespect me, we good. I mean, it's a man's prerogative to lose respect for another man. However, if it get disrespectful, that's where the problems come in. But shout out to that brother. That's my man's. I hope we ain't got no problems going forward. You know, you're welcome on here anytime. But we'll see what happens moving forward. With that out the way, I heard the Slim Reaper took another soul today. Where is my brother Mudawa? Mr. Mugabe, Little Lucifer, the man himself? I heard he got his soul reaped earlier. I heard Leandre challenged this man to a debate, and my mans and them said, nah, I ain't messing with you. I'm personally shocked if this is true. I need some clarity into this situation. Somebody Please enlighten me, because I'm bugged out by this. Did my brother Mutawa get his soul taken by the one and only Slim Reaper, A.K. Dre? They also call him Mr. Logic. I need to know, because this has been an ongoing conflict within the back chat messenger groups for weeks now. And I thought that the conversation about a debate was pretty much dead. But apparently a challenge was laid down, and my man Lil Lucifer apparently backed down. I need some answers, and I need them quick. What happened? What happened? In another chat, we got talk of the NOI having spaceships. What is going on? Like, am I in a parallel universe? Am I in a parallel universe? Like, what's happening? Shout out to my sister Juju, Jolanda. Shout out to my man GT. Nobody from Trust and Believe the Gospel in the building. Like, I'm confused right now as to what's happening in the Paradigm Shift TV universe. I'm hearing my main man, Mugabe, Lil Lucifer, back down from Leandre challenge. Now, for those of you who don't know, my man been challenging. Shout out to my sister Nada Black. She just hit that membership. If you want her, y'all check out that membership. Check out that membership. We got some perks within the YouTube parameters, but we also got some outside of them. Make sure y'all check out that membership. That being said, my man BK said something earlier. He said he was godsmacked. I'm godsmacked by this implication that my man Mutawa didn't accept the Slim Reaper challenge, and I need to get into the logistics of why this happened. That being said, what's up with the NOI having spaceships, y'all? Apparently Fard Muhammad left Earth in a spaceship. So I want to know, like, like, listen, man, listen. Because I've been hearing from certain Muslim brothers, you know, shout out to my brother Zaki. Zaki is a very respectful brother. I'm not accusing him of this at all. I don't know if he do this or not. I don't remember ever hearing him do it. But I've heard members of the NOI say that Christianity is the white man's religion. Ain't Fard Muhammad white though? Like, I'm again, you know, I'm just asking because is dude white? Dude look white. Like he, hey, like that picture. He got the Shemp from Three Stooges hairstyle. Like he looked like a white dude. Now, my mans in them say that that's God, right? God, Allah, that's God. And he left in a spaceship. So he, like, you know, people make fun of Christians saying that Jesus ascended to heaven after he resurrected, and you know, kicked it with his peoples for 40 days, right? But it's cool for the NOI to say homeboy left in a spaceship. Like, y'all got some splaining to do. Y'all got some splaining to do with this one, because you can't say now, like, look now, you can't say that Christianity is the white man's religion and your God is white. That's first and foremost. You can't say like if your God is white, like, nobody knows what Jesus looked like. But I mean, if you wanted to take a guess and you think to first century Palestine, like, my G, I don't know what y'all know about, like, them Mediterranean climates. Like, especially back, like, they ain't had nothing to protect themselves. Like, it was all bad, and they walked everywhere. Like, you know, and nobody, like, yeah, few people had horses, right? Few people had even mules, right? That sun was beaming down. Like, they is that right along the equator? Be watching in the chat. He can help me out. Like, hey man, it wasn't a lot of what we would typically call white. Wouldn't know light bright next to white necessarily in that area. But that's neither here nor there, because we talking about Ford Muhammad. My man's is a white dude. And if Christianity is the white man's religion, does that not make the NOI the whiter man's religion? Because, like, don't nobody know what Jesus looked like, but we got a picture of Master Fard Muhammad, and it's irrefutable. This is, what we would call a white man. Now, I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Hey, if that's who y'all want to worship, that's perfectly, listen, that's cool with me. But when you say Christianity is the white man's and your God is that very white man, Houston, where I think Ford is from, we got a problem. We got a problem. And so, yeah, I'm confused. Like, I tell y'all, man, listen, man, I ain't one of these scholars. Like, my man's trust and believe the gospel, man. Like, I think it was his grandmother, man. She was a history teacher, so she poured a lot of knowledge into our brother. You know what I mean? And the brother is crazy when it comes to the Bible. You know what I mean? He crazy with it. My man, the GT. Not only is he a literal soldier, like, he a soldier. Shout out to my daughter, Daisha. She just made sergeant in the army. She over there in Iraq doing her thing. But my man, the GT, is a straight soldier, but he been studying Egypt and Egyptian history, Christian history, things like that his whole life. You know what I mean? My man BK, he wouldn't be my man BK apologist probably wouldn't call himself a scholar. I'm calling him a scholar because he bring more sources than these these self-proclaimed scholars. His stuff actually line up with the sources that he put forth. My man B. Wash certified. I'm just gonna say Harvard. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all know what the Slim Reaper do. My boy Walter is a philosopher extraordinary. Like, hey, the cats in the one is they do their thing, but I'm just a a humble, entrepreneur. I just work. I got a GED. I say all that to say, I don't know a lot. So I need y'all to enlighten me. How does this work with this NOI saying that the black man is God and the white man is the devil? But the white man is like, hey man, listen. I need help with this. Okay? I need help with this. I dropped out of high school when I was 16, 17 years old. So maybe I'm having a problem catching up. I'm gonna put the link in the chat because I'm having difficulties. The black man is God and the white man is the devil. But the white man is your God? And he in a spaceship right now? Waiting to come back. I don't know what he waiting for if he got a spaceship. Like, how big is the spaceship? How many people do it hold? Is it enough for all of us? Like, what's going on? I'm so confused right now. And so, yeah. Apparently, Master Fard Muhammad didn't die. Right? He didn't die. He just decided, hey, look, I'm sick of this place. I got a spaceship. You know what I'm saying? I think my man's told me today that he built it in Japan like in the 1930s. I don't know how that's like, I don't know how that's possible. I know a little bit about history. I think this is like World War I, between World War I and World War II. Like it's chaos. I think the Great Depression we was either in the midst of it or we was coming out of it. Like, my dude built a spaceship in Japan, mind you. They wouldn't like calling him a kaijin or kaiju, whatever they call foreigners. Like, they weren't tripping off of you. Like, where was you hiding? How big is this spaceship, man? And how many people do it fit? And why did you just get on it? And why you just didn't take your people with you then? Or I guess I'm to assume that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad just had more work to do, right? And he had to get more people. Okay, that's cool. I understand that. So, like, when you coming back, Doc? When you coming back? I want to see this spaceship. Because, like, ISUPK, this is like a running thing with the white man is the devil groups. You know what I mean? Because ISUPK call them chariots. But they see spaceships too. I don't know if y'all knew that. All the white man is the devil groups or into space travel. I heard a homeboy that used to be on Sinetta. What's the elder name? Apostle. He say the reason Trump created what's it called, Space Force, is because he gonna be trying to fight God, because God is gonna be in a ship. He gonna be in a spaceship. God is an alien. God is an extraterrestrial. God is ET. And Space Force is gonna be fighting God, and that's gonna be the book of like, dude, like, this is nuts. This is nuts. But again, I got a GED, so this might be above my head. Like, this might all be legit. It might make sense. It might make sense to say the white man is the devil while having that same devil as your God. That might make sense. And I'm just so slow that I can't catch up to it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get me wrong. I can concede that, you know, hey, every man's got to know his limitations. Maybe this is beyond my scope. I can't catch up to it. It don't make sense to me. So if somebody can explain it, y'all can hit that link. Help your brother out. The math ain't mathing, the history ain't historying, the geology ain't geologying. Like, ain't none of it adding up to me. Because again, the white man is the devil. But God is the same white man. What? Man. I'm not. Yeah. Where is my brother Mudawa? Where is my brother Mudawa? Because I'm hearing the Slim Reaper put in work and snatch the soul. I'm talking about full regalia, the hood with the scythe, the skeletal face, the whole demo. Took your soul and then made you back down from a debate. I hope this ain't true, brother. I need you to come here. I need you to come in here and straighten this out. I know these rumors cannot be true because I heard my man say, I want a debate or a fade. So I know he ain't back down from no debate. I know that. Like, these people are telling vicious lies and spreading vicious rumors on homeboy. And that's, you know.
Shame.
That's shame. Shame if y'all doing that. Spreading these lies and these rumors on this man. I don't think Slim Reaper issued a challenge and this man backed down. I don't see it because I heard the man, he said it to me. He said, I want a debate or a fade. That's what he said. So to me, it stands to reason that if he was challenged on a debate, he'd have took it. So I'm gonna call y'all out and say, hey, stop lying on my brother Mugabe, right? But again, I'm gonna throw this in the chat. If anybody can break down how the white man can be the devil while also being your God, I please give me an explanation. I would appreciate it. If anybody knows where my man Mudawa is, tell him I'm looking for him. I want to know if what's being said is true. I need him to clear up these rumors. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go to a quick commercial break. Just a quick commercial break.
I brought that with me. Case they get too
witnesses. Shorty fuck you thought it was, they better know it's not that. Talking all that shit online, they knowing that it's not fake. Sliding through my hood, I make maneuvers like a Uber, baby. Got a 10-year plan, these niggas can't tell what they doing lately. And I'm way too clean, I'm Listerine, I thought they been knew it. Blood all in my lungs, I got my red cup full of that Henny fluid. Young middle Mad Mac, I'm swinging that leg, I'm banging that do or die. And I ain't that holy, ass holy, before I get crucified. Living in my bloodline, bitch, this place shit in my family tree. How the fuck they pressed, I did my best out of what they handed me. Straight out of that country, no.
Please go and subscribe to my brother Rocky's channel. Powerful young man, very, very intelligent, could be doing a lot of things out here in the streets, but he chooses to bring forth some knowledge and information. Please go subscribe to his channel, support that young man. I think that he bring some valuable things forth as it relates to the community. I'm gonna put his link in the chat, and y'all can hit that. Go to the brother channel and hit that subscribe button, please. Much appreciated. But yeah, I see B Wash put the word out to the brother Mudawa. Hey man, like I say, let's I just want to get to the bottom of these things, man. Hey, spaceships, and I'm hearing the Slim Reaper, took another soul. And listen, if the Slim Reaper got you, it ain't nothing to be ashamed of. It's just, I would be surprised if it was Mudawa, that's all. That's all I would say. Now, I'm gonna say, I think that this is just it's just a rumor. I don't think this happened. I think people just people just talking. This brother didn't get his soul snatched, because if he did, again, the brother who saying he want to fade or a debate, he'd have took that debate. I'm saying that. Not to speak for him, but I'm speculating. I'm saying if I know this, if I said it's a debate or a fade, and then that cat challenged me to a debate, let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that it didn't happen. I'm saying that was made up. So hopefully the brothers can come in, give a brother some clarity, help a brother out. In the meantime, this spaceship thing, this NOI thing got me tripping, y'all. Like, the dude is white. Thank God is white. Like, I feel better if Elijah Muhammad was the guy. You feel me? I feel better. How's your guy white? And the black man is God. I'm like, man, I'm legit confused by that. And again, I'm admitting though that this could just be me being slow. And if that's the case, again, somebody hook your brother up and just walk me through it. because I'm not understanding. I'm really not. Uh, Black man is God, white man is devil, but God incarnate is white. I'm just, hey man, listen. And then he got a spaceship. Dude got a whole spaceship, yo. What is he doing? Where is he? Is he just traveling the solar system? Like, man, what is happening? Where he been? Like it's almost 100 years now. Is he like preparing another planet? Is there an afterlife for NOI members, or is they just gonna go to another planet? Like what's going on? Somebody explain this stuff to me. He didn't die. He has a spaceship. So he's traveling the universe. And then he gonna come back and get his folks, and they gonna travel the universe with him. So they not gonna die either. Or do they die and go to heaven? And that's how they get to the spaceship. But if they die and go to heaven, how they gonna get on the spaceship with them? Man, what's happening? For real. For real, y'all. Y'all leaving me hanging. I really need to know what's up with the spaceship. Who's on there with him? Is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on there with him? Is the Honorable Louis Farrakhan gonna go on there when his time comes? So don't nobody die? Everybody just get to go on the spaceship? So whoever replaced the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, do they get to go on the spaceship when they go too? Do everybody get their own spaceship? Is it gonna be like people having their own spaceships and then they be like, you form arms and torso, form feet and legs, and I'll form the head? What's gonna happen? Peace. You can you break this down for me, my G? Are you there?
Yeah, you're going off on the wrong start from the very beginning. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you loud and clear. You said I was going off on the wrong start?
Yeah, you're wrong right from the start. What you're doing is you're starting. Yes, now hold on for a minute, no, because there's a delay I'm dealing with right now.
Okay. So apparently I'm getting off to the wrong start on my chosen topic, but my brother is gonna enlighten me. So y'all bear with us, and he gonna break it down, hopefully. But in the meantime, yeah, I'm just, because I hear a lot of people like make fun of Jesus ascended to heaven, and they
Okay,
like,
you're gonna have to find a moderator and get organized about who's talking when.
well, you said you had a delay, so but go ahead and talk. It's on you. Go ahead.
Okay,
What was your
okay.
comment?
Well, look at the stuff that I'm writing. I'm up. I'm up. Just quiet down for a second. Give me a chance.
Whoa! Don't talk like that now. Just give me your comment.
Your first assumption is wrong. Men have always known God was a work of fiction, and those words of a fantasy include prophecy, faith, prayer, spirit, God by every name, and so on. You know a tree by the fruit, and the man by his works. Jesus Christ and God have a perfect record of doing nothing. Men have always known God was a tool of fiction. If God was with you, why has the Jew not bought the idea?
Hold on, hold on.
Okay,
Hold on, real
okay.
quick, real quick. I just, because I don't know if you read what I have on the as the topic for this show. I'm talking about the Slim Reaper, who is a contributor to the show. I'm talking about the NOI having spaceships. So what you want to do? You want to debate the existence of God? Is that what you want?
There's no big debate. We know there's no God because he
Right,
doesn't
right,
do
right, right,
anything.
right. So can you do me a favor? Do you see where the private chat is? Can you put your email address or a phone number? Because I could set up a debate for you on this platform where you can have that conversation. But today I'm talking about the NOI and the Slim Reaper.
Well, it's your site. Now, you don't have my name, my email address showing up on your screen anywhere?
No. That's why I said if you want to put it in the private chat, I can contact you and I can set up a conversation. Maybe we can do it this weekend.
Where's the private chat at? I see chat with everybody in the studio.
So you know where you put you have a tree by the fruit. Do you see that? If you look on your screen and stream,
I see that. I can put it there.
Put it right there in that private chat
Okay.
area. And then I'll contact you either later, once this show is over, or tomorrow, and we can set up a conversation about, atheism versus religion, or versus theology, theism, however you want to word it. And we could definitely get that in. I appreciate you coming on and putting that forward.
Thanks.
Yep, I got it. So I'm gonna copy that, and I will be contacting you. I got a few brothers who will engage in that conversation. So shout out to the brother. I wouldn't rush the brother off. That really wouldn't what I was discussing right now. So but I can see he anxious to have that conversation. So I'm gonna find somebody to get to it with him. That being said, if anybody else want to hit that link and talk about what's actually in the title, feel free to. But yeah, what I was talking about before my man told me to quiet down, which was, which was funny. But I hear a lot of people always, make fun of, oh, Jesus ascended to heaven and this and that and that and this. Why don't I hear the same? I don't get the same energy for the NOI saying this deity, this individual who they call a deity, leaving in a spaceship. If you think Jesus ascending to heaven, again, we talking about a all-powerful deity ascending to heaven, which we admitting takes supernatural precedent to accomplish, right? But my man's in them is saying, no, my dude built the spaceship. Ain't nobody calling this out. Like, y'all got so much smoke for Christians, but y'all don't want it with nobody else. Y'all really pick and choose who y'all want to get at. And it's because y'all think Christians is easy targets, but I'm seeing though that y'all learn that ain't the case. Because y'all get in y'all bag when y'all get that work. Y'all get in y'all bag. But don't nobody want the smoke with the NOI. My man, yeah, like they say my man's built the spaceship and left Earth. And he literally is I guess he's traveling the universe right now. Never mind, Yakub created white people. A big head scientist, like 50 trillion years ago, or whatever the story is. But it's like Star Wars a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away type stuff. Like, this is science fiction, yo. We got a big head scientist. It's like this is straight science fiction. We got a big head scientist, and we got spaceships. You might as well start it off with a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But non-believers don't want to smoke with them. But you got heat for Christians. Because see, y'all, the reality is y'all think Christians soft. That's what it is. That's what it is. Y'all think Christians soft. But along came this movement called the UA. Shout out to my little bro, your favorite urban apologist, nobody from Trust and Believe the Gospel. He say, we need more of this type of talk on here. That's what's up. And you know, I'll be getting in my bag a little more, you know, freestyling a little bit. But I'm just curious as to why people don't get at my man building a spaceship in Japan in the 1930s. Like, who helped them? Marty and Doc from Back to the Future, Rick and Morty. I'm like this again, as BK said, I'm godsmacked by this. That I like people don't call this out more. You know what I mean? But you got all the smoke in the world for Christianity. That's crazy. It's I'm just curious as to how this works. So, you know, as your favorite urban apologist said, you know, put some respect. Put some respect on your ancestors' names. Because see, that's the other part of this that kind of get under my skin when I hear people talk that talk. And I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a minute. So, like, when we say Christianity is part and parcel of white supremacy, right? Like, that's the claim. It's the white man's religion. It was used to enslave us, etc., 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 right? But Islam is cool. And Islam gave the blueprint for enslaving Africans to the world. Like legit. But not only that, do y'all not know that y'all not talking about Christianity though? Like that's the crux of this thing. y'all talking about white supremacy and trying to superimpose Christianity over it. See, when somebody cherry pick scriptures and try to make it justify their actions, that ain't Christianity. How you make that Christianity is weird to me. If you call yourself a scholar, if you call yourself someone who applies scholarship, how can you say Christianity was used to enslave us? I said last night when I was talking to my brother Lord Banu, he said the KKK is he asked, how can we say the KKK not a Christian organization? I said Jesus is quoted in the Bible as saying, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Grand opening, grand closing. And the same applies to slavery in the antebellum South of the United States. So I'm going to ask again, how is that Christianity? I'm not talking about whether or not it cherry picks scriptures. I'm saying, how is it Christianity? I'm not talking about how it is, if it's a white supremacist culture of vile and evil racism. I'm saying, how is it Christianity? Like, you ain't got, like, just compare and contrast what the individual who this religious tradition is predicated upon, what he himself says, and what these individuals were doing. Don't bring me slavery in the Old Testament. Don't bring me slaves obey your masters when we talking about some first century context. Because if you a scholar, you know better than that. Now, if you somebody who's trying to superimpose first century culture over 18th century culture, which is dumb, then go ahead and do that. But if you a scholar, then you know better. So don't bring me a verse about slavery written in the first century. Let's call a spade and just say they cherry picked scriptures and tried to use it to justify their actions. But you had actual Christians saying, yo, dog, that's cap. What you doing ain't right. Now, if it was a universal thing to where everyone in this world who call themselves Christians united to say, this is right and exact for you to do this to these people, I would understand y'all position. Y'all position would make sense. But you had actual Christians saying, yo, dog, pause. What y'all doing ain't right. So how do we get to where we say Christianity was used to enslave us when it's clear this wasn't Christianity? Like, don't nobody go to the swap meet, get the fake pair of Jordans, right? Like you don't get the knockoff Louis bag, right? And present it as the real deal, and expect people to like, people who know the difference between the two, people who can't who can't look at the stitching and look at the jump man and look at the LV. Like, they gonna call that out. Yo, hey, my mans. Them ain't no J's, dog. Hey, my wife would be like, hey, I'm sorry, sis. Yeah, I mean, because you asked. She ain't gonna say it if you don't ask, but if you ask her, she gonna tell you that ain't no Louis bag. I'm sorry to tell you. They got you. Like that bag, they did a good job. I done heard her say they did a good job, but that ain't it. So don't, like, come on, man, don't insult my intelligence and tell me the counterfeit was real when you got the real in contrast to the counterfeit. Y'all ain't making sense. Don't come to me talking about what a pope did, because y'all act like the Orthodox Church ceased to exist when Rome adopted Christianity. Like, what we talking about? Y'all so caught up in European teaching and history that y'all think once Rome adopted Christianity, that was it. No, sir. You had a whole Orthodox Church history that never wavered. But again, y'all scholars, so y'all should know this. You know. But here's the thing. So I'm a black church cat, right? I'm a black church baby. I'm saying this: the black church was and still is, no matter how many bruises it then took over the years, no matter how many people then fell off, the black church is the backbone of the black community. And I debate, have a conversation, a dialogue with anybody on that. I'm saying this: Christianity ain't the white man's religion. And I debate, dialogue, have a conversation with anybody on that. That's an open challenge for anybody. Because I know what my ancestors did. See, y'all think my ancestors, our ancestors, was idiots. Y'all think the white man said, here, boy, you a Christian now. And he just said, yes, sir. Praise the Lord, sir. That's what y'all think happened. Like you can make somebody believe something. You can intimidate somebody into believing something. And y'all scholars. I need somebody to break down for me how that work. Cause everybody seen Friday. Everybody seen Smokey say, yeah, when he right here, I I stopped doing what I'm doing, but when he leave, I'll be doing it again. You can't beat belief into nobody. You can't do it. But what did happen was our ancestors started reading and getting an understanding for themselves. Evangelists did start coming down to those plantations, and they did start to get an understanding for themselves. It's called the invisible institution. They start reading for themselves. sneaking and having church for themselves. Like this whole notion that Christianity was forced on our ancestors is hilarious to me. And I'm going to tell all y'all scholars why. Why would they have to sneak and have church to do something that they was already forced to do? Talk black to me. So it was forced on them, but they had to sneak and do it. What y'all scholars? Like, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Shout out to my brother Lord Banu. Hit that link, Lord Banu. I gotta hear about this this situation with the Slim Reaper, because I heard he took another soul. You saying he got beat up? Hit that link. But y'all make that make sense to me. It's well documented. This thing our ancestors had called the invisible institution, where they snuck out at night and had church for themselves, got an understanding for themselves. Ain't no white man, ain't no enslaver have to instruct them on nothing, because they did this themselves. They did. So it was forced on them, but they had to sneak and do it. Y'all ain't making sense. So, but I'm gonna get off my bag. I've been on my bag long enough. I'm gonna get off my bag, but that challenge remains. It's an open challenge for a debate with me. I'm saying Christianity ain't the white man's religion, and I want the smoke. I'm saying, come get this work. Slim Reaper and the Shepherd of Umecca in the building. Slim Reaper, I'm hearing some things, brother. I'm hearing some rumors. I don't know if they true. I'm hearing you caught a body. I'm hearing that my man, who I heard say they want to fade or a debate, got challenged to a debate and didn't take it. But my brother, the Shepherd of Umecca, said he watched you get beat up and he felt bad for you. Now that's amazing. So I want to hear from him first, and then I'm gonna hear from you. Lord Banu, break it down for us. What happened to Slim Reaper today?
Man, it was crazy. So I was watching this at first, you know what I'm saying? It's because I was waiting to see what happened, because I ain't see where he challenged Mudawa and Mudawa back down. So I was listening to this. But then I'm like, yo, where he at, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't see him up on the screen. So I went in the back chat, and they was having a discussion. And, like, man, they had him backed into a corner, man. He was scraping his ground to try and get up out of there, man. But then, you know, said that I found him over here, so I just figured I had to let everybody know, man. Like, I felt bad, man. I had to tell. I told him to stop, man. Like, yo, let him go, get up off him, man.
Oh man, you got him off of him? Oh
yeah, wow. Man. He nah, I ain't get him off. They wouldn't stop, even though I said stop, man. And then he just was like, yeah, I gotta go holler at DMG, talk about Mudawa.
He used me as a way to get out the fight.
Yeah. They had him in the corner, man. He was doing his best to get up out of there though, but he kind of talked himself into a corner, man. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Yeah,
man.
Hey, yeah. So listen, we all know. So Mudawa has a third grade education. So some things like yeah. So y'all gotta understand. Listen, Mudawa's Ben New has a third grade education too. But listen, here's the thing. Some things that he just can't comprehend. So here's what actually happened. So one.
Hold on. Wait. Slim. My bad. I got to play this before you start talking. Hold up.
Appreciate you.
Matter of fact, because I added something you wouldn't hear. I added something. Okay. I got to play this, and then I got to play my other joint.
I'm your huckleberry.
That's right, bitch. DJ Keenan Kilos, Idle Hands, aka the Mad Hands, Great Babe, aka Mr. Slate, Young Yachty, Take the Backstabber, aka Tanky Two Life. Get some, nigga. So when the drought about to hit, you can't find no good shit. Come and see me at the spot, you know I keep that good. When it comes to 16, I'm so fresh and so clean. And to get on my team, boy, you have to be.
I got your bitches to pumps, I got that pump in the trunk, pussy's a pump in the trunk, nigga, I'm pussy, nigga, you fake. I'm on the rims that skate, I love for niggas to hate, nigga, I'm selling dope, got me lightweight, balling and shit, ain't got no time for no stalling and shit. Fuck the late night calling a bitch, I'm on the corner trying to get rich quick. MOB, that's money over bitch. It was me, Great Faith, and that boy Young Yachty.
I'm gonna say what I said at the beginning of the show. Y'all did not know the Slim Reaper could rap.
I'm an angel. I kill firstborns while their mamas watch. I turn cities into salt. I even, when I feel like it, rip the souls from little girls. And from now till kingdom come, the only thing you can count on in your existence is never understanding why.
It's on you, Slim.
Yeah. So yeah, that was back in my rapping days. But yeah. Shout out to 360 Music Group. But anyway, yeah. So here's what happened. So one, DMG, you're correct. You had your dude Mudawa, who's been talking about he wanted to debate or fade numerous times. Said he'll debate me on anything. He just wanted to debate or fade. He just decided to. He's been posting the same thing over and over and over again. Where basically what he does is he says he's been arguing that people who are religious are less intelligent. There's a couple things with that. One. The first of which is that, so this is what he did. He posted this Google. This is his actual screenshot. This is actual screenshot. I saved it. This is screenshot that basically says the majority of studies that investigated this relationship showed a negative correlation. And Mudawa kept arguing that religious people are less intelligent. That's what he kept claiming. And he kept posting it. I downloaded the study. It's 28 pages in total. I read the study in its entirety. Then I came back and I did a couple things. One of which is I went ahead and I baited them. And I started posting articles that showed that your job is actually an indication of your intelligence level. And that's a fact. The study showed that your job is indicative of your intelligence level. Started posting those back there. And Mudawa's auto response was basically to say that IQ doesn't measure intelligence. Now, one of the problems is that with the study that Mudawa posted about religiosity and intelligence is that it was based on IQs. So now, wait a second. When you thought it was going to apply to religious people, you were willing to say that religious people are less intelligent. But then when you show that it applies to mailroom clerks and things like that their average IQ is about 87 to 93, like close to borderline mental retardation, then he no longer wants to say that IQ measures intelligence. So then what I did is, then I started asking him, hey, why does the study that you posted, why does the study say that any sort of correlation that's been shown in the data is small, negligible, and almost ubiquitous? And then it says that those results, that they come from biased research methodology. And so again, any correlation there is going to be small and negligible. But then the reason that you have those results anyway is biased research methodology. And then I challenged him to a debate on that. Now he said he wanted to debate me. He said debate any topic. But then he ran from the debate. He said repeatedly he wanted to debate. I said, okay,
that's what cool. That's what he said.
Everybody heard him. He said it over and over and over again. So I challenged him to a debate on that specific topic. And then he said, I don't want to debate it. Now, and then so what just happened regarding what Mudawa said, what Ben New said, they nearly the same person, they got the same intellectual level. But what Ben New just said is a flat out lie. Now, DMG, wait, I need to see DMG. Let me show you. Pull me off this big screen. So I got to ask you something. DMG, let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
What's the consensus in scholarship on did the ancient Egyptians take the stories of take the stories of their gods to be literal? Did they take these to be literal people? What's the general consensus on that? I remember asking this.
Did they literally believe in their deities?
Yes, literally believe that they were these real people. Is that what they believed?
Yes.
So they didn't take stories to be allegories. They thought that these were real deities. The stories themselves really happened. This was the belief of ancient Egyptians?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because I gave the exact opposite answer. And DMG and you and I, we discussed this before, right? And we asked, like, for example, was Heru and Asar, did they believe these to be real people? And anyway, what I was
you gave the opposite answer.
Yes, I gave the opposite answer because the general consensus, as far as
I agree, and I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah, the general consensus, as far as I'm aware, was that what happened is that they believe these to be myths and allegories and things like that. Now, it's not to say that they didn't organize their lives around this, but whether they believed them to be true or not.
Well, I think it would probably depend on what time frame we're talking about. But
well, exactly, because the time period we were talking about in particular, right? What we're talking about in particular was the origins of these stories themselves. So I'm talking about priests who are crafting the stories and things like that, right? Because the example I was given was of the Greeks and the Greek myths. Okay. And I was pointing out that, right, if you read like Hesiod's theogony and kind of stuff like that, the stories themselves are not written like history. They weren't written the way that the Greeks wrote history when they were trying to recount actual events. Those elements are missing. And then I was arguing that the same thing is true elsewhere. And then I said, but with respect to the Bible, the way that they were writing and the way that they were doing their stories there, they actually believed that these figures were real. They believed that these events actually happened. And then they organized their lives around them. But the way that they wrote it, the way that they were meant to be memorized, like for example, like let me ask, like DMG, the myths originally at the start of it, who were they for? Were they originally for kings and rulers, or were they for everybody, the general population, in the beginning?
Kings and rulers.
Right. So with that being said, what I was arguing was that, and again, according to the general consensus, which I'm happy to provide scholarship for, I can get it all together and present it. The general consensus of scholarship is that they weren't believed. The people who wrote them, and originally they weren't believed to be real. Now later, cults and myths and things like that, they popped up, and cults, they could have creation dates, where they started. That way, at its inception, they didn't believe these to be real. The reliefs and things we find on the wall, they weren't meaning to write history in the first place. And I was arguing the exact opposite of the Bible. I was told that I was wrong and that I made that up. Then I started grabbing some books off my shelf about Egypt, gods, myths, and religion, just different books. Then I was told that none of those stories mattered. The books didn't matter. Don't matter what scholars say.
No.
Benu, I don't know why you're chiming in right now. What was actually stated was when
I was there.
Benu, listen, but your comprehension.
Here we go.
Your comprehension is not there though, because what was pointedly stated is that I said that when we're talking about, because here's what Mudawa said. Mudawa said pointedly. Oh, by the way, DMG, I challenged him to this debate too. Mudawa said pointedly, and I want you to listen to this. I'm gonna read you this. He said, I asked him. We were talking about biblical scholar. We were talking about the Bible and stuff like that, and he had basically said that no credible scholar cites the Bible as history. I went to the library. I started picking out books and I started posting screenshots of them saying that's false. Then Mudawa basically says validation of a biblical claim. This is a screenshot. Validation of a biblical claim requires contemporaneous extra biblical primary sources. I challenged him to a debate on that topic. He then said, no, what I was talking about was major claims of the Bible, that those require that. I told him that's not the research methodology. Then I said that the biblical writers meant what they were writing to be history. This is how they were writing it. This is what they're willing to die over. Originally, first century people writing these stories were willing to die over these stories. And then they said, oh, well, they did that other place. I said, no, they didn't. That's not what the Greeks thought. The Greeks didn't think this stuff was legit, not at the beginning. That's not what they thought. And then they said the Egyptians. I said, well, the Egyptians originally, they didn't believe that either. Generally, it was considered to be myths, allegories, and things like that. And they told me I was lying. I started trying to read from the sources, and then Neo Love started saying that it didn't matter what the book said. So I don't know why Ben New was chiming in, because that's exactly what happened.
I don't know if Neo Love got the link to this.
With this bitch, Jay. How you want it?
Got the link to this live right now, but
no. You give your account. You said you were there.
No, I was. I'm just saying.
I can put the live in the.
Yeah, it was in the
put the link in the paradigm
shift. Yeah, that's where it was at.
And I'll say this: one of the ways that you could tell when they sort of shifted from a literal belief with regards to the kings, and then involving everybody else is when they began to say, you became a Sor, or you became this deity, or one with this deity, because how would that be possible other than allegorically? You know what I mean? So you can kind of tell the way that the writing sort of shifted within the spiritual documents. But that's just my take. But go ahead, Banu, my bad.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I was agreeing with the Slim Reaper, you know what I'm saying, when he was saying that. Cause I was just, you know what I'm saying, listening in. But it's when he said that he damn, what he said? He said he could prove and that he knew who wrote one of these books in the Bible. They were saying he could prove he wrote.
Yeah, Google Scholar.
Was it Mark?
Yeah, Google Scholar said you can't know who wrote the Gospel of Mark. So obviously, there's going to be a couple issues, and this is why I pointed out.
He challenged you to a debate on it too, and then you ain't
He didn't challenge
respond.
me to a debate. I challenged him to a debate. Your comprehension is off.
Nah, he did say he wanted to debate you.
No, you said he challenged me, and a challenge has a particular meaning. Again, this is comprehension. Challenge has a meaning. I issued the challenge. I said, I'll debate you on a topic. That was me who said it. Google Scholar didn't challenge me to debate on anything. I said, I'll debate you on that topic. It's comprehension. Okay.
Maybe it might have been. It might have been you. You're right.
It might have been. This is just
evidence. You're right.
Anyway,
you did challenge him.
Don't let him coax you into agreeing with him, man.
Nah. Because I definitely will admit when I'm wrong. You feel me? And he right. He right. He did say he did challenge him to that he knew.
Yeah, because and what I said was.
But wait, hold on, wait. But he did challenge you to a debate as well.
What did Google Scholar challenge me to a debate on?
I can't remember right now. But keep saying what you're saying, and it'll come to me. Because y'all was going in, and I was playing poker, listening to y'all, and then
And like I said, so if Ben New is going to give you an account of anything, you have to take his comprehension into court. Like you have to like with a grain of salt, because remember, it's like third grade comprehension level. Now listen, as I was saying. When we talk about what you can know, right, we're going to need to use it. And like I said, in DMG, I'll debate Google Scholar on that particular topic on whether we can know that Mark wrote the gospel right here on the channel. The only thing about it is that we are not going to be able to use, and this is what I said, we're going to use one definition of knowing the whole time. Whatever knowing means, it's going to have to mean know everything else when we use the words to know it. We're not gonna get 5, 6, 7, 10 different definitions of what it means to know. When I say I can know that Mark wrote the gospel, and what I said on that call was, I can know Mark wrote the gospel just like I know any other fact of history. If I want to know that Caesar crossed the Rubicon, how can I know that? I'm going to know that a particular way. So whatever it means to know, in that context, let's not different definitions. So, and DMG, we can do that right here on the channel. So get Google Scholar in here. We can set it up.
Man, where them brothers at, man? Because you up here.
Hey, I put the link in there. Slim Reaper. Look, Slim Reaper is reaping. He want all the smoke.
It was Google Scholar, Mudawa, and what's the other brother name? He said you was trying to play him on some logic, and he was like, "Yo, bro, I study logic." And then he started coming at your credentials. Saying you took a you said you
Hey, DMG, look, and then see this is why I said, look, people just be making claims, right? Because again, when I went to go try to read the sources on it, right, about whether they viewed this stuff as allegorical, he came back, that's an appeal to authority fallacy. No, it's not. It's like the reason you cite authorities in papers, right? If I say, hey, whatever it is, doesn't matter what particular claim is. If I say, hey, Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president. If I cite a source, if I'm making a claim something is not generally known or understood, I have to cite sources for that. Okay. And why do you have to do so? Because that authority adds credibility to your argument. It adds weight to your argument. It's persuasive, has persuasive appeal. So if I get ready to go cite a source on Egyptian mythology that says that the people typically took this to be allegorical, you can't turn and say that's an appeal to authority fallacy, because it's not. It's absolutely not an appeal to authority fallacy. Like, if you want to know if your grandma has cancer, like nobody would be like, hey, don't go to an oncologist. That's an appeal to authority fallacy. That's stupid. That's really stupid. But DMG channel, is full of stupid people because this is the only thing that's on YouTube. It's not your channel specifically. This is just what like the general thing is with us on YouTube.
Man, yo, what's his name?
Neo Love is his name.
Neo Love, yeah, man. He need to come on because he the one that had you in the headlock, man. I want to hear you and him go at it, man.
The headlock is crazy. He wouldn't even shut up. I started just playing Drake out.
Oh yeah. That's what you kept trying to talk over him. He was like, "No, I'm not the one." He was like, "You had it, man."
Now. Bennu, why do you troll? Me and Google Scholar remember going back and forth. Hey, hey, Bennu, listen. Shouts out to you because you're a grade A troll. You like me. You're a grade A troll. Me and Google Scholar in the middle of going back and forth. And then guess what? Then he chimes in. He chimes in and starts talking. Now, again, like I said, if I say that.
Oh, hold on. Who him right there, yo, DMG. I want to debate him.
Hey, he don't debate. He don't debate.
I know why, because he don't know nothing. He just be talking.
Bennu,
hold on. I can't. Now, I usually don't chime in these type of matters, but that is my cousin pastor. I got an uncle pastor right here in St. Louis, but that's my cousin pastor over in Augusta.
He's your cousin's pastor?
That's my I call him cousin pastor, but because he my cousin.
That's Lord Bennu's new teacher.
But it ain't that's what he calls himself.
Yeah, that's my teacher.
But it ain't that he don't know nothing. It's just that he get frustrated when it comes to arguing with people who talking about things they don't understand. Not saying that that's you. I would love for y'all to have a dialogue, and if I can talk, I'm sure gonna try. So I will.
But you gotta train him first, DNG. He wild, bro. He's wild, bro.
Oh,
hey, now listen.
Hey, we got Mugabe in the building. I gotta ask Mugabe a question. Mugabe, I'm hearing some things, bro. I need you to clear this up for me, man.
Greetings, family. What's going on, everybody?
Oh, the fellas is here.
Oh yeah, we in this thing.
Yeah.
I need you to clear this up for me.
What's on your mind?
I heard the Slim Reaper took your soul today and made you retreat. Is there any truth to this vicious rumor?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I don't think you can ever trust anything that comes out of Leandre's mouth. I think
now he didn't say it. He didn't say it. For the record, he didn't say it.
I ain't say it.
Okay.
For the record, he didn't say it.
Okay.
He didn't say it.
Well, here's the deal. Whoever said that didn't. Whoever said it, it said whatever the case may be.
Hey, DMG,
cool.
how did more than one person say it?
Brother, can I please
let him rock, Dre. Let him rock.
Now, unfortunately, the conversation was. I'm not sure what you're referring to begin with, so I would have to get
audio tripping for me or everybody.
Yeah, your audio is a little off.
How about now?
It's the starting still.
It's the story.
Are you on Wi-Fi? If you ain't on Wi-Fi, get on it. If you on Wi-Fi, get off of it.
Yeah, I got the Wi-Fi on. Let me see. How about now?
You might want to turn it off. The Wi-Fi.
Let me see.
It's still real bad signal.
How about now?
Yeah, it still sounds the same.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, like me and Moodawar. Look, me and Moodawar got out here.
I don't know if you was watching, but I apologize for last night, bro. I should have got to you sooner, but that was my bad. But go ahead.
All right, it's all good. Look, me and Moodawar got our history. I'm a believer and he an atheist, and we don't get along that much at all. But no, he was whooping Slim Reaper's ass, brother. That's what I saw going on. So I don't know who told you that lie.
I told you.
I don't know who told you that lie. He was whooping the snot out of Leandre. And I'm a believer. I believe the Bible. But Leandre was saying some illogical stuff. He started pulling out textbooks he had about logic and everything, but he wasn't using the logic that the textbook was talking about. The brother said the people that wrote these ancient religions didn't believe them. The people of that time, the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Greeks, the ancient everybody, they didn't believe their own religions. You can't say that. That's nothing logical about that. I major in logic. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying I got a degree in it. I'm saying that's what I do. I'm logical. I'm philosophical, all that. And
He
I know
logical
you
and
all
philosophical, Leandre.
and philosophical. Come on, Leandre. The id, the super id, and the ego, psychology. Quit playing with me. I do this.
Okay, now DMG,
do
here's
this.
what I want you to do. Now let's DMG. Now you know
Hold up.
DMG.
So basically, what Neo Love is saying to you is this.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Now listen, now DMG, here's the problem. A couple things. One, Ty Chump Change over here does not actually know even
what? Wait, whoa. What did you just say?
Ty Chump Change.
I can't stand you, man.
Listen, can I finish my story?
Hold up. Well, I don't know if Neo, was you done?
I'm about to just say he got some fantasy with Ty Dolla $ign. He keep trying to do that. I don't know. That's some weird shit, but he can go ahead. Yeah, I'm through.
You the one copied his hairstyle. Don't tell me I got the fantasy. I ain't the one copying him. Now, anyway, as I was saying, here's the deal. He drunk. He don't even know what situation you're talking about. He came on super late and don't even know what conversation we're talking about. So that's one. So two, the conversation specifically was about, and even the later conversation that he came into was actually about. Are you not entertained? About whether biblical claims require, as a methodological criteria, require extra biblical contemporaneous sources. That's the conversation. That was the conversation that Ty Chump Change jumped into. I didn't lose. Listen, there's nobody who's gonna say I got beat up in that conversation, because check it, DMG. Here's the statement. The statement was that any claim made from the Bible is going to require extra biblical contemporaneous sources to make it true. That's the only thing that's going to validate any biblical claim. I pointed out to Mudawa that that's false. First, he said for any biblical claim. Then he came and said this for any major claim. I don't know where that criteria came from, but it don't come from anything in the field of history where they say, wait, if it's the Bible, it needs extra biblical contemporaneous sources. That's false. I gave Mudawa a single example. The crucifixion of Jesus is a major biblical claim that, guess what, comes from the New Testament scriptures. Mudawa then started turning the conversation to everything else. So the fact that we ended up having a conversation about whether the Egyptian myths were taken literally or whether Greek myths were taken literally is actually an example of a red herring, because we kept getting off topic. I kept trying to keep the conversation around the subject of whether biblical claims require, as a methodological criteria in history, require an extra biblical contemporaneous source. That's not a methodological criteria in any field of history whatsoever that I know of. None. I told Mudawa I'll debate you on that topic, and I'll use only non-Christian scholars to tell you that that's not the method regarding the Bible, that's not the method for history in the Bible. And I told him I would debate him on that topic. He then kept saying, no, I want to talk about the Exodus. No, we're not talking about the Exodus. You said any biblical claim. Then you came and said any major biblical claim. I came back and told you the crucifixion is a major biblical claim. It fuels the whole second section of the Bible. It's a major biblical claim. And I told you I'll debate you on that topic. I told you I'll focus only on the crucifixion, and I'll focus only on non-Christian scholars. Then he came and said, no, but I agree with the crucifixion. Okay, if you agree with the crucifixion, and I asked him pointedly. This is what Ty Chump Change was not listening to, apparently. Okay, what I asked him pointedly is, what extra biblical sources provide for you the fact that there was a crucifixion that took place of Jesus? He came and said, well, other people were crucified, so we can reasonably assume that Jesus was crucified. No, you can't. And I said, crucifixion wasn't the main means of killing people. That was reserved for certain people. All sorts of people who were criminals were never going to be crucified. Entire classes of people were never going to be crucified, even if convicted of a high crime. That's false. And so I said, so there's no way for you to say that. I want to know what extra biblical contemporaneous sources tell you that Jesus was crucified. Contemporaneous extra biblical sources say Jesus was crucified. Then you had Tardo Lavelle jump in and say the Gospel of Judas. He has no idea about the Gospel of Judas. How is that a contemporaneous source? How is that a contemporaneous source? So this is the conversation. You said the criteria was that any biblical claim requires extra biblical contemporaneous sources. Then you said any major claim. Then I said, cool, the crucifixion of Jesus. He said, no, the Exodus. No. Let's go with your statement. The premise of your statement, when you say the Exodus didn't happen and all of that kind of stuff, and anything else didn't happen, is that if it comes from the Bible, it requires extra biblical contemporaneous sources. I kept pointing that out. Then they came and said, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that, oh wait, because here's what I said. I said, when we're doing history, the primary document, the primary thing that you examine in history is written. That's history is done primarily with written text. Then they came in and said, so you mean to tell me Robin Hood, this is Mudawa. So Robin Hood, I said that was written to obviously be false. That was an obvious work of fiction. It was a terrible example. Then they came and said, so the Zeus stories, I said that was another one that's obviously not meant to be taken literally. I said, you can look at when the Greeks started doing history. That wasn't the time that they were doing history. It's not written like they wrote the rest of their history. Then I said, but with the biblical text, they wrote it like they were writing their history. That's what I said. Then they came back and said something about the Egyptians. Then I told them, I said, no, listen, I said, the people who wrote that in the beginning, the people who were writing these stories, the people crafting these stories weren't thinking that these stories were legitimate. They were putting these stories together. Now, and then they said, oh, but all these people later on thought that these stories were real. Well, that's not my argument. My argument is not that people at some point in time didn't believe that they were real. My argument wasn't that nobody believed that they were real. My argument point blank, period, point blank, full stop. And I said this repeatedly. I don't know why Tai Chum Change is shaking his head. I said repeatedly, my argument was specifically that when these stories are put together, the people who put these stories together were not taking these stories to be literal. The people who crafted the stories themselves. It's not written the way that they wrote their history. You can compare the historical documents in ancient Egypt and the style of writing, the particular devices used, and you can compare and say, is this written like that over here? And if it's not, guess what? You have no reason to think that they thought that they were writing history. That's what I said. And then they say, Mudo, I whooped you. How? Nobody responded to a single thing I said. I jumped on, and then I started grabbing textbooks. Preparing to read them. And then Tai Chum Change over here said that the textbooks didn't matter. Those textbooks saying anything. My mom always told me just because you book smart, blah, 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 some crazy lesson. Nothing to do with the topic. It was some Bobby Boucher stuff. Mama said that's the devil. That's fine. But the scholars say the one thing. If this is a group for scholars, I was going to go cite some scholars to show you I'm not just making this up. I'm not just drawing this out of thin air.
Neo, tell them what really happened, man.
With this bitch, Jay.
Yeah, I've been trying to, bro.
Tell them what really happened, Neo.
It's on you.
I've been trying to tell him what really happened this whole time. So first he lied because Mudawa didn't say he agreed. He said he conceded. So he told y'all that I wasn't listening. I heard all that. I heard you lie on Mudawa and he said he agreed. He never said that. Mudawa is a stark atheist. He don't believe none of this shit to be real. But he said he'll concede because it could have been a nigga named Jesus that lived. He could have got crucified. He didn't say he believed he did get crucified. You added that, Slim Reaper. You added that. And when you started talking about the people of the time didn't believe this stuff, we wasn't talking about people later on, like you just said, hundreds of years later, come back and they believe it to be true. That's not what we said. We said the people of that time believed it to be true because they took centuries to build fucking temples to these gods, thrones and shrines and everything else offered to these gods and sacrificed to these gods, even humans, even their babies. They sacrificed their kids to these gods. And you say they didn't believe these gods were real? Nigga, is you insane? That's illogical. I said the textbooks don't matter, and my mama told me that you could be book smart and don't have common sense because common sense would tell you that these people believed in these gods that they was killing their babies for. That's logic. I said you can't get logic out of a textbook. Logic means you got to use this up here, what God gave you to think. I'm a believer. I'm on your side for the most part of it. Moody was an atheist, but he was whooping your ass because you was doing what most Christians do and say that your religion is true and everybody believed Jesus was real, but nobody believed Osiris was real. Nobody believed Zeus was real. That's fucking insanity. That's fucking insanity for you to think like that. They all thought they was real. And guess what? Your very Bible talk about the Greek gods. It talks about Zeus. It calls him Satan, but it talks about him. Look at the church in Pergamon. The church in Pergamon is a temple of Athena where a statue of Zeus once sit. And it says, I know where Satan is, the Satan's throne, and where he is seated. It was calling Zeus Satan. It was talking about Zeus. The Bible says there are many gods, but for us, there's only one. That means there's other gods out there. Psalms 82 says God sits in the congregation of the gods, and he judges amongst them wisely. Who them other gods is? Your Zeus, your Osiris, your Ra, your all this other stuff that you said these people didn't believe in. These people absolutely believed in it. And if you believe in that Bible, you got to believe in it too.
Period, Slim Reaper.
Yeah, so that's certainly one position, is to agree that there's like a divine council. That's certainly Michael Heiser's position. It is not my position. It's not the position of vast numbers of biblical and ancient historians that other gods existed. The Bible also says those other gods are nothing. Those other gods are not gods. And with respect to particular gods, in their iterations, like in Jeremiah chapter 10, it's an entire statement that those other gods are nothing. So that's certainly one position that like Michael Heiser holds, but to say that that's the position that's necessarily true is false. And so I don't know if you read Old Testament scholars like Dr. Peter Gentry, but they tell you that that view is false. And so to make it seem like that position is that's just false. I don't have to agree that these other gods are real, nor do you have to. Like let me give an example from political science. There's actually something that's false that people generally assume. With respect to, and anybody can look this up, there's something called rational actor theory, and it's a particular position in political science. And the general view is that actors, people who run countries, will basically do things that are going to be rational, they're going to be self-serving, that are going to be well. But here's the problem. That is an erroneous assumption that to think that just because somebody does something that it necessarily makes sense or even has to make sense to them. Terrorism is an example of that. Terrorism serves no purpose for the person who blows themselves up. And this is something that is admitted in the field of political science. It's a response to the rational actor theory. And what people always try to assume is that you can go and you can reason with terrorist organizations. But the fact is that they might have completely other motives other than rationality. So when you assume that these people did these things because they were seeking to be rational, well, you need to give me some reason to think that they're doing it to be rational. That's your assumption. You certainly haven't proven it. You've simply assumed it. So just like in that example, just because people did a particular thing, well, there's all sorts of reasons why they could have did that, whether they believed it or not. They could have did so out of culture. They could have did so out of custom. It could have been any reason, because it could have been the social expectation of the time. And you say that you deal in sociology, you know that there's all sorts of things that people do. They don't even have to make any sense. It could be simply because it's peer pressure to do so, because it's societal, it's your expectation to do. It doesn't have to make any particular sense. The Greeks, the ancient Spartans, for example, those particular faction of Greeks right there, thought that they didn't need to work at all and that they were going to continue to enslave and oppress the Messenians. And they wanted their population to grow, but they weren't actually focused on growth. And they had no skills to continue. Their population died off. Just because they did it does not make it a rational thing. It's not logical to think that everyone is thinking logically. You have no basis for thinking everybody's logical. And just to say that somebody did something doesn't make it logical. And don't tell me you study logic. You don't study any logic. Nothing you said is logical. You don't have a basis for thinking that because someone did something, that made sense, or that that's because they believe that such and such. No, that's false. You have no basis for thinking that.
And here we go.
Mudawa, I'll see you back, bro. Go in.
Hey, what's going on, fam? I didn't hear anything. Can
He
somebody
tried to
catch me
lie
up?
on you.
Of course he did.
He said you agreed with the crucifixion of Christ was real. And I said, the man said he conceded. First, he told me I didn't hear none of that. But I had to correct him and said, no, the man said he conceded on that topic. He didn't say he agreed with it.
Right.
Can I say something?
Who was that?
Oh, let Mudawa go, and then it's on you, Klein.
Right. I'm going to say this, and I want to give a shout out to everybody listening. It's I simply had a question for Leandre, and it was the bulk of my question was, is he a believer by faith or is he a believer by evidence? That was the foundation of my question. That was where it all started from. Like, do you believe these things because of faith or do you believe these things because of evidence? And then he went into basically saying that he believes by evidence, and I'm paraphrasing. And I go on to say, so are you a literalist or are there some things that you don't take literal? And we had a little back and forth about that. And it ended up boiling down to the brother to the brother we're us having a conversation about some things that transpired in the Bible. And I was like, well, if so you're saying that you have evidence of certain things that are the claims. And if you have evidence, what criteria are you basing that evidence on? In other words, are your sources reliable? Are your sources credible? And how do you come to your conclusion about saying that these are the sources that I agree with? And from there, we went into a dialogue a little bit more. And he proceeded to show me some book that was written, Western Society or something, that had a mention of the Exodus. And he went on to say, well, if the Exodus wasn't true, why is it written in this contemporary, in this current textbook or
Stick a
whatever?
pin in
I'm
that
not sure
because
if it
that's
was a
false.
textbook.
That's false.
Well, excuse me, bro. You have maybe about an hour to take anything about me, and
Let
I'm
him
just
rock.
trying to
Let him
keep
rock.
it right. And I went on to say from there, you can't use this was and I'm paraphrasing myself. I'm saying uh, uh, you can't use a textbook from or a book from today that says the Exodus narrative was true to validate the Exodus narrative that's in the biblical narrative. I said we still need evidence. What type of evidence do we need? We need contemporaneous, meaning of that time, primary sources, meaning firsthand accounts. And I said that this is the basic foundation of proper research methodology when you're referring to such things. And I said that we don't have any
Y'all write that down, y'all.
excuse me, brother. I'm saying
Let him rock, bro. Let him rock. Let
I'm
him rock.
saying that
I'm not stopping it from rocking.
we don't have any contemporaneous extra biblical, excuse me, I forgot to add that in there. Contemporaneous extra biblical primary sources that can validate or substantiate or corroborate the biblical narrative of the Exodus as written in the text. And that's where we went from there. And he went on this long ridiculous, if like he always does, about how people don't understand this and now you don't understand that, and you know how he does. And I was simply saying to the brother, if you have you might have some evidence that I've never seen before. I'm not saying that you don't. I'm saying that I've never seen any contemporaneous extra biblical primary sources that can corroborate the biblical narrative as written in the text. And that's what I was challenging the brother on. And I was trying to get clarity, and of course he wants to hijack the conversation and say, well, this is what I said over here, and this, I can pull up this over here, and I bumped this and I bumped that. I'm like, bro, relax. I'm giving you clarity. I'm the primary source of my conversation. And if I'm telling you that this is what I wanted to discuss with you, do you want to have this discussion or not? And the brother decided that he wanted to try to dictate what we could have a discussion about it. I'm like, okay, well, that's not what I wanted to discuss with you. Excuse me, debate with you. We can have a discussion about that, but if to have a debate, have a formal sit down, film this stuff, PowerPoint, the whole research, the whole nine, that required. I'm not gonna have that debate with you. I'm not gonna say he wanted to he had some strange thing about how do we know that Jesus was crucified and all. I said that's irrelevant to the conversation. We were using that as an example. Okay, well let's debate that and like relax, young fella. Relax. If we want to have this conversation, let's have a conversation about what we admit, what we were speaking about, or what I was trying to give you clarity about what I was speaking about. And I try to give a brother the utmost respect. I try not to not, I'm not a rah-rah guy like that. It doesn't do anybody in the community good. Like we can have a healthy dialogue and maybe somebody can learn something from it. Maybe somebody. But then it goes into the ad homs and the personal attacks and the job shaming and the age shaming, totally ridiculous stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with the conversation. And it shows a level of intellectual maturity as far as I'm concerned. If you're positing yourself as being a scholar, the first thing you should have is a level of intellectual maturity. You shouldn't be doing these things. Let's stick to the information, and that's all, DMG. And I know that's you guys' friend, and maybe that's y'all golden boy, but your golden boy got a little tarnish on him. He's not really ready.
God, you walk away. Oh no!
All right, Mudawa. I appreciate it. I needed some clarity, man, because I heard my man challenged you, and you was like, "No, I don't want that smoke." But Kahani, let Kahani go, and then you can respond, Slim.
There is no L in his name, DMG.
10 to 15 seconds.
Go ahead, bro.
I've been watching.
Take as long as you need. Take as long as you need.
I've been watching everything from the beginning to end, and the whole exchange between Mudawa and Leandre. Oh my God, it was horrible. See, they was talking about the biblical narrative, right? Mudawa was like, you need to prove
you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
You need to prove the big boy stuff, right? All the Exodus, all of it. He wasn't being clear about what he was what he wanted Leandre to prove. And so then when Leandre brought up Jesus, he said, I can see that Jesus existed, the mortality of Jesus existed. But here's the crazy part. The crazy part is, how could you concede to that? Because, the Bible says Jesus walked on water. At least from what I remember in Sunday school. So I'm like, you saying the big boy stuff and Jesus is big boy stuff. And I was just like, oh, that was pretty bad, So Leandre, he did come up on top from what I've been paying attention to, and it was just, whoo. But I'm done. I said what I have.
Yeah, but
wait.
But Mudawa said he didn't believe in all that other. Wait, hold on, brother. I spoke first. I spoke first. The brother said he was done. I spoke first.
If you was paying attention, I said I was gonna let him respond after Kahani.
Okay, go ahead.
So get this bald nigga off my screen.
Your screen?
Yeah.
You ain't got no screen over here.
The one in front of me is my screen I paid for.
Now I'm gonna leave them up.
I paid for the screen in front of me. It's a 34-inch widescreen. Now you get that bald nigga.
Hey man, are you gonna talk or what?
I'm trying to talk. I can't do it looking at this.
Hey, Kahani, don't play into this dude.
And there's another bald nigga on my screen now, and I don't want to see that one either.
And I'm staying up here.
DMG.
So, hey man, listen.
The one on my screen looked like a thumb, and it's distracting me. It's throwing me off. I'm trying to get this one off my screen.
I don't care.
How do I report this video?
Let's get to it. Are you trying to share your screen?
Yes, I am. A couple things. One, this is the definition of agree. Do we notice right here where it says to admit or concede? So there's that. So to say that he conceded, he didn't agree. No, yes, he agreed that Jesus was crucified. Now, the question that I asked specifically was how you could establish the crucifixion of Jesus given the criteria that you listed. What was stated pointedly? First of all, what he stated, and this is right here, No credible scholar would use the Bible to validate the biblical claims, being factual nor historical. That wasn't about the Exodus. It says no credible scholar would use the Bible to validate the biblical claims, being factual nor historical. That's what it says. I didn't make that up. That's what it says. And what I did is I responded and said, I already showed you that this is false. I already showed you credible historians citing the Bible as history. What I didn't say was that this is cited here, therefore the Exodus, or the consensus is the Exodus. That's not what I said. That was just a flat out lie. He ain't gonna be able to point you to nothing I said. Nobody else is gonna say that I said that. As a matter of fact, in the actual chat, I posted videos of what my specific claim was. You can actually watch the videos.
Making of the West. That's the source book. That's
This
the textbook.
This is me showing
Cited here. Oh, Book of Exodus. Huh.
that the Book of Exodus
And then it goes through
is cited in historical textbooks. Because his specific claim again was no credible scholar would use the Bible to validate the claims, being factual nor historical. Then he came back and said more nonsense about the fact that that he was talking about the major claims. Okay, cool. You're talking about the major claims. I responded to that and said, cool. The crucifixion of Jesus is a major claim. I want to know what, and this is what I'm asking here live publicly, what extra biblical sources do you have that said Jesus was crucified? What he said was, well, some people were crucified. And I already went over this. Some people were crucified. Yeah, some people were crucified. This is going to be a logic issue because it happened to some people doesn't mean that it happened to this particular person over here. You can't say that. Now, so there's that. Now, DMG, do you remember what happened with that young gentleman who came on here basically saying that if it's in the Bible that you need, that basically that nothing can be corroborated unless there's archaeological evidence? DMG, you remember that guy that we were talking to on here, the young fellow?
Vaguely. Remind me.
And I asked him about Caesar crossing the Rubicon and marching on Rome, that young fellow.
Oh, yeah.
The conversation went just like that because those sort of claims are being made. And so I'm going to ask Mudawa right here pointedly. He said, without question, that was the standard. Wait, what did he say? He said, and this is important. Where is it? Because he said it basically, he was saying it was the standard criteria, the standard methodological criteria. Oh, hang on, wait, here it is. He said, serious answer. He says, validation of a biblical claim requires contemporaneous extra biblical primary sources, basic research methodology in its finest and its simplest form. Mudawa, if this is the basic research methodology, I'm asking you to cite a source that says this is the research methodology when studying the Bible. That when trying to validate a biblical claim, it requires contemporaneous extra biblical primary sources. I want you to cite a source that says anything like this, that if it comes from the Bible, it must be validated with contemporaneous extra biblical sources. So there's that. If that's the standard, you should be able to find this everywhere. Every time you read a biblical historian, some historian where they're talking about something about the Bible, they say, unless we can validate this with something else, we don't accept it. Show me that. I'm challenging you now to show me that.
Okay, now.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done.
We going to Neo Love next.
Okay, my bad. I'm after Neo.
So anyhow.
Yes, sir. Well, we got B Wash who just came up. We need to get him in Mudawa, but you gonna go and then we gonna get
Why is Ty on my screen? What are we doing? You trying to distract me? Throw me off? What's this?
I'm just making sure you know somebody is on deck so you can hurry up.
Listen, DMG, I'll report the whole video. Listen, anyway.
I don't care.
That's fine. I'm reporting. Anyway.
Hey,
but anyway,
Fred, it's nice this time of year, my brother. I keep telling you. Go ahead. Make my day.
You can call me Drayston White because I'm going to call him on you when you get it. But anyway.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's fine.
They going to call you no longer exist messing around with me.
All right, listen. Now, anyway, here was the claim that was made. If it comes from the Bible, it's a biblical claim. It requires contemporaneous extra biblical sources. So again, this is my question. Two questions. One, show me that this criteria exists in history. What historian says if it comes from the Bible, if it's a biblical claim, even if, show me where they say if it's a major biblical claim, that it requires extra biblical contemporaneous primary sources. Show me that. And then two, what I responded with is the same thing that I told that brother when he was talking about that if it comes from the Bible or if it's anything, like it needs archaeology. And I pointed out the slave narratives. I want you to show me where this standard exists right here, okay? And then tell me what that does with the rest of the stuff. So, and what I pointed out to him, DMG, was if you think that that's the case, you don't get to accept the crucifixion of Jesus, because most people were not being crucified, even when convicted of crimes. Most people were not being crucified, even if convicted of crimes. Most people were not being crucified, even if convicted of crimes. That's a fact. Most people who were convicted were not being killed. That's a fact. And most people who were being killed weren't killed by crucifixion. So you don't have a reasonable ground for saying other people crucified, therefore Jesus crucified. I want to know several things. So, and I'm going to save the other ones because I hope you'll take this debate. I have several other topics, several other things that lead to the crucifixion that you're going to have to be able to show through extra biblical, contemporaneous, primary sources. So, show us where.
Wait a minute. Are you? Wait. Is this a continued challenge to
yes
to Mugabe?
This is a second challenge because look, and then watch this. Nobody touched, and Mudawa didn't touch the fact that I challenged him earlier on the study. The one that he ran from, the one he said he didn't want to debate, was the one where he kept posting that IQ study. And I'm challenging him here now on that particular study that you posted that said religiosity had a negative correlation with intelligence. One, you cited something that was all about IQ. And then when I showed that people who work in mail rooms have an IQ between 87 and 93, then you said IQ doesn't equal intelligence. Then you shouldn't have cited the source that you did. You shouldn't have posted the screenshot you did because they used IQ to measure intelligence. So there's that. And then two, even the one you posted was a meta-analysis that was basically saying that it is negligible if it exists, and there was a bias in the research methodology. And I told you, I contacted the authors of the study. And so all I want you to do is take me up on that debate, and we'll let them speak for themselves. We'll read the whole study. We'll look at the whole study. Challenge you to debate on that, and I'm challenging you to a debate on this subject of you saying that this is the standard research methodology, what it states is that if it's a biblical claim, even a major claim, that it requires extra biblical primary source. Those are my two debate challenges to Mudawa right here.
Mugabe, he didn't put down the challenge, brother. All right, we got Neo Love, and then we're going to get to Mugabe.
Is he frozen? I think he's frozen. He's been in the same spot for a while.
Oh, man. Okay. Neo, you might be frozen. You might need to go. Oh, no, he there.
Yeah. What I was about to say earlier was to the other brother, and after all that garbage this brother Slim Reaper was saying, I forgot what he said, but I wrote down 2 points of what Slim Reaper said that I want to respond to. He was saying most people weren't crucified during that time, right? And I don't know about most people. The Roman Empire was known for using crucifixion. I'm not going to say most people were, but I will say many and maybe all of Jesus's disciples were crucified. So what they were doing was considered punishable by crucifixion. These niggas was assassinated. Peter was hung upside down, his head cut off. John the Baptist, his head cut off. You know, like this was like common with his disciples. And he was talking about when Mudawa was asking about extra biblical sources corroborating these stories. To most, he was saying that's not normal, but to most atheists, if you're not a believer in the religion, most atheists would require outside sources to corroborate these stories, because if you don't provide that, there's a name for that. It's called circular reasoning. When you're using one book to justify itself and say it must be real because the book says so, that's circular reasoning. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. Go ahead, Mudawa.
All right, Mudawa.
All right. Can you guys hear me? How's the audio?
It's much better, much better.
All right. The first thing I want to say is this whole shenanigans about debating about Jesus being crucified. That's his argument. That's not my argument. I never said I wanted to debate that. I never said that was up for debate. I never said anything like that. he's positing that on his own. That's not my claim. My claim was extremely specific. I said, Leandre, show me evidence of the Exodus. Show me that evidence. Give me primaries that are contemporaneous. That's what I asked the brother. Extra biblical. Though that was what I asked the brother for. And what he proceeded to do was move the goalposts all the way around. I said, Leandre, we're not going to play any of these games. We're not going to play goalpost moves, and you're not going to gaslight my conversation. I know what I'm doing. I know specifically what I'm asking you. And I know that you nor anyone else on the face of the earth has any evidence to support that claim. I've also told a brother that the couple pieces of flimsy evidence to support the Exodus narrative have been dismantled. One, the fake chariot wheels at the bottom of the Red Sea. We found out that was fake. I can give you the sources on that. We also found out that the so-called Menefake stele, where it was supposed to say that the people of Egypt were, the Israelites were no more, that was a mistake. It was not referring to the Israelites at all. We know these things. So we have absolutely, to my knowledge, right now, 2024, there is no credible evidence, extra biblical, to support the biblical narrative as it stands contemporaneously of the Exodus narrative. Now, this is what's going to happen. What Leandre wants to do is he wants to use 5 words. He wants to use 5 words. When you mention biblical historians that they speak on the Bible, they're going to use these words. They're going to use these words. They're going to say these words exactly, and they're using these words for a reason, to keep them safe. They're going to say, according to the biblical narrative, this happened. They're going to use those words for a reason. According to the biblical narrative, they're not going to say according to historical accuracy. They're not going to say according to archaeology. They're not going to say according to genetics. They're not going to ever say any of those things. They're going to say according to the biblical narrative. So what they're doing is exactly what Neo just said, circular reasoning. They're using the book to justify the book. And this is what I was explaining to that brother. We can never have this conversation. And this is why it came up about when we were talking about other mythos. And I said, man, do you understand that what I said, Leandre, I said, brother, and with all due respect, I said, what makes your mythos more valuable and more credible than anybody else's mythos in the world? And he goes on to say that all the rest of these cultures knew that shit that they were saying was fake. I'm paraphrasing, of course. He was saying everybody else in the world knew that their stuff was fake. I asked him exactly. I said, so you mean to tell me that the Greeks knew for sure that the Zeus narrative and the Greek gods narrative was fake? I said, you mean to tell me that the Nile Valley people knew for sure that the Osar and Heru narrative was fake? I said, you mean to tell me that the people of West Africa knew that the Orisha narrative was fake? He said, yes, they knew. Because if you were smart and you read the books that I read, you would know this too. Because you guys are stupid. That's why you don't know this. I said, brother, don't you think that this could be an issue? I said, perhaps. Don't you think this is confirmation bias? Don't you think that you have a dog in the fight? So the narrative that you want to be true, that narrative is true to you, and all the other narratives are fake. And don't you think that the rest of the people around the world would say the same thing? They believe that their narrative is true and the rest of the narratives are fake. Of course, what happened after that? There was a Gish Gallop. a bunch of questions that were totally irrelevant. Of course, there was ad homs that had absolutely nothing to do. Of course, there were potential shaming tactics that had absolutely nothing to do with the conversation. This is what this brother does. This brother tries to posit himself as being a scholar because of his alleged credentials. But at the end of the day, he's a Christian fundamentalist. Nothing more, nothing less. At the end of the day, no matter, I don't care if he uses $15 words. I don't give a fuck if he uses 9-syllable words. He's a Christian fundamentalist, a zealot. He's going to try anything in his power to try to prove the narrative that he holds dear to his heart to be true. That's why I initially asked him. My initial thing was, hey, Brother Leandre, question, with all due respect. Do you believe on faith or do you believe on evidence?
That's where he fucked up. That's where he fucked up.
And that's where he fucked up at.
When he's done,
I land the plane.
Really quickly, a couple things. I want you all to notice something. When a non-scholar talks, they don't know how to be specific. So one, let's take a couple things. I didn't challenge him to a debate on the resurrection.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
I challenged him to a debate on a particular claim he made, which reads, this is him writing it. This is his words. It says, validation of a biblical claim requires contemporaneous extra-biblical primary sources. One of the examples that I said that I'm going to use to unseat him, and I'm showing my hand because he won't be able to get around it, is the crucifixion of Jesus. And then even what Neo Love said was total nonsense. When non-scholars talk, you need to pay attention because it's totally missed it. The brother said the crucifix was common, and he talked about John the Baptist having his head cut off. If your head is cut off, have you been crucified? That's stupid. That's so dumb. It's not like, I don't even know why I have to put that out because like there's a bunch of grown men on here. But clearly, some of us' bus was shorter than the others. But let's get back to it. I didn't challenge Mudawa to a debate on the resurrection of Jesus. I challenged him to a debate on his particular claim on what the methodology is. What he called the basic research methodology in its simplest form. His claim was that validation of a biblical claim requires contemporaneous extra-biblical primary sources. Now, because he's a non-scholar, he confuses topics. So then he goes on to talk about wanting primary sources. Then he says that there's no evidence. Well, those are different things. Primary sources are a particular type of evidence. And then you have evidence itself. That's an umbrella term. And it's all these different types of evidence. Primary sources are one type of evidence, but that's not the only type of evidence. Because Mudawa works in a mail sorting office on graveyard shift, he has no idea what he's talking about. No idea. He's not studied under any scholars on this topic. He's not reading any scholars on this topic. And so this is my third.
Hey man, why are you like this, man? Why are you like this?
Listen,
why do you have to do this?
Slavery, Jim Crow.
Slavery is why you have to do this? Why? That's why you like this?
Jim Crow, yes. Can I finish my story?
That's why you. That's probably why you had your complexion. I'm saying, why are you like this though?
I'm like this because of generations of slavery and Jim Crow. Now I'm gonna finish my story. Again, here's a guy making claims about what is in scholarship. He's not reading.
Subscribe now.
He's not reading any scholars. He hasn't studied any scholars, and he's not a scholar of anything. Of anything, he has studied nothing. Period. Now watch this. Here's my third debate challenge because he's not a scholar. One, I didn't challenge you to a debate on the resurrection of Jesus. I challenged you on your criteria. He said, he says they're not going to say according to the biblical narrative, blah, 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 blah. I challenge you to a third debate, because I know you're not reading any scholars. You said there's no scholars who's going to say according to the biblical narrative. No scholars going to say it. Like, again, that was your claim. I challenge you to a debate on that particular topic. I will show you scholars in the field who use the Bible and say that it's historically accurate and who are saying, according to the biblical record, I can show you multiple. There are entire books written on the topic, entire fields of study, entire papers, ones that I've read. You've never been to a Society of Biblical Literature conference. You have not sat and listened to scholars. You've had no professors.
A society of what? Repeat that again.
The Society of Biblical Literature. It's a field of scholars. And guess what?
Oh, an echo chamber.
Oh, no, not an echo chamber. Watch this. No, watch this. Watch this. Listen to the mailman.
Let him rock, Mudawa. Let him rock.
No. Listen, right. I'm glad he chimed in, because watch this. What he just said would necessitate that he knows something about the Society of Biblical Literature. But what he said is no scholar's going to say this. Then what he's going to do is dismiss it and say that they're an echo chamber. But he has no idea about the makeup of the Society of Biblical Literature or the authors in there. He don't even know if they're all Christians. If I told you that there was a Jesus Society, do you know that majority of the people in the Jesus Society do not accept that Jesus, they do not accept his claims of deity? There's an entire society. Majority of them reject the writings of biblical Jesus. But again, he's never been in these rooms. He has no professors who've been in these rooms. He's never been in these rooms. He's not a scholar of anything. He's a mail sorter. So I'm challenging you. Third debate topic. We'll debate this question of whether the scholars are going to say according to the Bible. I will bring only non-Christian scholars on this topic. So I'm going to limit it. I won't even bring the Christian scholars. I'll bring only non-Christian scholars. I'll challenge you to a third debate on
Why are you ducking my debate topic, brother?
Listen, stop interrupting. You keep making statements, and here's the point. I'm trying to prove a point here. You are not a scholar. You don't read scholars.
I'm consistent with my debate topic, brother.
No, you are not. Listen. No,
I'm
you're not.
consistent.
Are you ducking his debate topic, Leandre?
No. Wait, DMG. You heard him say, and you know he said he'll debate me. He wants a debate or a fade. He keeps making statements. Now watch this. Here's the reason why I'm focusing on these particular topics, because those things, in order to have a debate on the Exodus, where you say it requires contemporaneous primary sources. That the premise of that is that contemporaneous primary sources are required to prove a claim from the Bible. That's what's required. He thinks that what you need, if you're going to say that the Exodus happened, is contemporaneous primary sources. That's his premise. So guess what? If his
Yasha, you need to hit this link, Yasha. Hit the link.
I don't understand why you're ducking me, bro. Why are you ducking me?
I'm still in the middle of going. That's your premise. In order to conclude that the Exodus didn't happen, we have no evidence that the Exodus happened, you have to assume that what it requires is something more than the biblical text. That's your premise. It's inherent in your claim to say we shouldn't believe in Exodus, or you don't believe in Exodus. You believe in Exodus based on faith, not evidence. That right there, nobody cares what Rossman said. Logically, again, I'm attacking the premise. If any person, and watch this, you can just go look how to respond to an argument. They're going to tell you. You need to look at the premises. There's a conclusion. The conclusion follows. It's supposed to follow naturally from the premises. It's supposed to. You have premise one. Watch this. Let's say the premise one is this.
Bro, please stop going long, bro.
Please shut up, bro. DMG.
Let's not devolve. Leandre, land your plane, because I got a question for everybody.
Okay, now watch this. Now look, here's the way it would work logically in a syllogism. Biblical claims require extra biblical contemporaneous primary sources. That's the first premise. Premise two would have to be the Exodus is a biblical claim that does not have extra biblical contemporaneous primary sources. Therefore, we have no reason to accept that the biblical claim of the Exodus took place because it lacks extra biblical primary sources. If I attack his first premise, where he requires extra biblical primary contemporaneous sources, then guess what? His conclusion does not follow. This is a logical point I'm making. So guess what? That claim cannot stand unless you bring.
Oh man, this man,
DMG,
bro.
DMG, he's saying fuck you, DMG. Now listen, what's required there, according to him, what he says, this is the scholarly criteria. I'm challenging to a debate on that. Tell me, show me, prove to me that this is the criteria, or tell everybody right now, and there has to be no debate. Give us a source. Name a source of history that says when you're dealing with a biblical claim, it requires extra biblical contemporaneous primary sources. He ain't gonna be able to do it. I'm challenging to a debate on the topic. Again, the only way that I'm going to take that debate over here is if the premise is true that it's required to prove the Exodus. If it's not required, there's no point in taking that debate. He needs to show that that's a true statement first and foremost, logically.
All right, real quick. I got a question. I got a question for everybody and it goes back to one of my other topics of the show. So, as a non-believer, Mudawa, and within this, you can respond to Leandre as well. I find that a lot of people attack Christianity. A lot of people attack the Bible. A lot of people go at Bible believers. I don't hear a lot of non-believers attacking the NOI. I just found out.
Wait, can we get Mudawa to mute up? It's giving feedback.
Is that Mudawa with that?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
It's jumping. Yeah.
Let me read this right quick. Google Scholar said, "Is Leandre saying we can prove the Exodus using only the Bible?" Leandre, you can answer that in the chat. But I find that a lot of people go at the Bible for statements that they feel or nonsensical or ridiculous, ahistorical, etc. Right? And I'm hearing today that number one, Fard Muhammad, Master Fard Muhammad, who is apparently God, is a white dude. Not only is he a white dude, the NOI says that the white man is the devil, the black man is God, but they God is a white man. They have that. My man left Earth in a spaceship, so he traveling the universe right now. I don't know, like it's almost been 100 years. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's preparing another planet for his people. I don't know. Like, is he gonna come back and get them? I don't know what this. Like this whole thing blows my mind. And again, I'm probably the least educated on the panel. So if I'm a little slow to catch up, y'all forgive me.
No, you ain't. No, you ain't.
I don't understand this whole thing about the black man is God, but y'all God is a white, and the white man is the devil, but y'all God is a white man. And then my dude left on a spaceship. Christians get heat and ridiculed because Jesus ascended to heaven, but ain't nobody giving the NOI drama, and my man left in a space saucer. So as the atheist on here, Mudawa, address why the NOI don't get no smoke from non-believers, and respond to Leandre as quickly as you can, because I'm gonna get to everybody else.
All right, that was a great question, bro. And this is a layup. This is a real layup. The first thing is the overwhelming majority of Afro Americans, and I use Afro specifically because we're of Africa, not from Africa. The majority of Afro Americans, we are of some form of the Christian faith. It just is what it is. That's part of our culture. We are culturally a Christian people. Even myself, I am my family is culturally a Christian people. I grew up with Easter. I grew up with Christmas. I grew up loving that song when the Temptations come on. You know, that Christmas. That's our culture. You know, this is the reason why I asked the brother, are you a believer by faith, or are you a believer by evidence? Because I have no problem if a person says, hey, I'm a believer by faith. Guess what that forces me to do? That forces me to shut the fuck up, because I fully understand what they just told me. They told me that this is part of my culture. This is what I believe. This is what I'm rocking with. I can't knock that at all. Now, to speak to the Nation of Islam piece. The Nation of Islam, I have never met pompous, arrogant pieces of shit from the Nation of Islam. But guess what guess where I have met pompous, arrogant pieces of shit from? Christian fundamentalists in our community. Those people, the people that think that you are going to die and go to hell if you don't believe what I believe. You are totally wrong if you don't believe what I believe. Matter of fact, this brother Leandre just told us all of those other belief systems across the world was fake. And they knew it. But mine is the truth. How arrogant and pompous is that, brother? How arrogant and pompous of you to say that. How arrogant and pompous of you to say that the Native American people that have their traditions for centuries, that their shit is fake. How arrogant and pompous are you to say that the West African people that believed in their traditional spiritual systems, how dare you say that those people they knew that it was fake?
Shame.
How dare you say the people of the Nile Valley that believed in the Netaru in the Netcher, how dare you say they knew that was fake? How dare you say the people in East Asia that grew up in forms of Buddhism and forms of naturalism, how dare you say that was them people knew that was fake because mine is real? That's some pompous and arrogant bullshit. And this is the reason why I get at these doggone Christians. This is the reason why. That's pompous and arrogant behavior, brothers and sisters. I'm an atheist, but guess what? I can concede to Jesus being real. And I don't think Jesus would have behaved like some of these Christians behave. I know Jesus wouldn't behave like Leandre. I know he wouldn't. When they say, what would Jesus do? He wouldn't behave like Leandre. That's for damn sure what he wouldn't do. That's for damn sure. Now, to get back on subject, I asked this brother, let's have a debate. What debate do I want? The debate that I wanted, he's going to dance all around it. He's going to go all over the board. The Exodus as written according to the biblical narrative. Is there any credible evidence to support the claim? Preferably extra biblical and contemporaneous. That's not hard. That's not hard at all. And the example I like to give people when I say that is, we know our beloved brother Tupac was killed he was shot in Las Vegas so many years ago. And remember how everybody was trying to blame Suge when it first happened? When they were like, oh, Suge had something to do with that. Suge had something to do with that. That was Suge doing it. Remember that? Hey, y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? And I brought that up. Right. Yeah. I brought that up to say that as the primary sources start coming out, Keefe D running his mouth, yeah, I was in the car. I know who did the shoot. The primary source, a primary, contemporary primary source, said he was at the scene in the car with the shooter right there on the day. And guess where he's at right now? So all those people that were trying to blame Suge for Tupac's death, guess where they're at? Oh, they're like, oh, you dig what I'm saying? So this is I just need people to start, and I get it from the Christian community. You especially when you believe this from a fundamentalist level, and that's a little bit problematic. It forces you to hold bad positions. It forces you to and this brother's supposed to be the brother of logic. This is supposed to be y'all logic boy. Come get your logic boy. Your logic boy ain't being logical. Your logic boy is sitting up here trying to tell me that I'm asking, where is the evidence? Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence of the Exodus, extra biblical, contemporaneous, primary source? I said, brother, if you can't provide that, it's cool. I'm not gonna clown you or nothing like that. Just say I don't have evidence for it. Just say I take that claim on faith, and I gotta shut the fuck up. I gotta shut the fuck up and fall back. But when you're a fundamentalist, you gotta try to prove that point. And that's why we're doing all this dancing around. The boy's not ready. He's simply not ready. That's why he's got to speak on what people do for a living. That's why it's like ridiculous. Oh, you're not a scholar. I'm a
DMG, you don't seem to be timing this one. What happened? Why are you being unfair?
Bro.
I didn't time you. I didn't time you.
We've been going for 9 minutes now.
It ain't 9 minutes. I'm exposing bad character. I'm exposing you, boy. Your character is bad. No. You're supposed to be the Christian. I'm the atheist. I'm supposed to be the person that has a.
Don't worry about Slim. Don't worry about Slim. Land your plane.
I'm not worried about Slim. I'm not worried about Slim, brother. I want the audience to see this. I want the audience to see. I want the brothers and sisters to see this. What is bad character? Is bad character coming from the so-called Christian, or is bad character coming from the atheist?
But do land your plane, because I do want to get to Yasha, because he had been waiting.
I land right there.
Hey,
I land.
DMG, can you be honest with me? Can you be honest to me real quick?
Say that again.
I don't know if you could be honest real quick.
I'm gonna get to you. Let me get to the number one Hebrew teacher. I call him. Hey Yasha, you remember that name I gave you, bro?
The elite Hebrew.
The elite Hebrew. Yasha Ben Israel in the building. What's up with you, bro?
Just chilling, man. Chilling. I'm enjoying the arguments.
What do you say about my brother, the Slim Reaper, and the goings on here on the panel today?
I think with Slim Reaper is that Slim Reaper speaks over a lot of people's heads, most people's. You know, I think that a smart man can act dumb, but a dumb man can't act smart. You know what I'm saying? By no stretch of the imagination. And what happens in the conscious community is you have a bunch of dumb African Americans acting smart. And that's a no-go, man. It just don't work, man. I'm out in the audience listening to this word logic, logical, just get thrown around. You know, like Brother Neo got on here and said something like, you know, logic is something that's in the man, you know, like something you're born with, you know, like there's no, you can't get logic out of a book. The most ridiculous thing that I've heard tonight, because colleges and universities all around this world have books that teach logic. I learned logic in college, okay? Logic deals with a lot of modus tollens and modus ponens, right? And syllogisms and things of that nature. Disjunctive inferences, words that the average person over here does not know what they mean. I'm sure Slim Reaper know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know you're right about it.
So when these people are saying things like logic cannot, you can't get logic out of a book. In fact, the only way that you can get logic out of a book, because you have to learn it. It's a discipline. It has to be learned. Okay, and if you have not had these classes, mostly from a professor, then you really don't know what logic is. And I'm hearing this word get thrown out there, and it's ridiculous. And at the end of the day, the reason why a lot of people can't seem to grasp what Slim Reaper is saying is because we in the conscious community have learned to hold fast to fallacious arguments. Now, I can ask a person, what is logic? And won't too many people on the panel be able to answer me what logic really is, okay? I can ask a person on this panel, what is a fallacy? And the average person on this panel can't tell me what a fallacy is. But to make it simple, a fallacy is a deceitful argument, man. You dig? When your argument is deceitful, it is fallacious. And we have hundreds of fallacies, that logical fallacies that are already mapped out. You don't have to create the wheel. I pinpointed so many fallacies in the argument, you know, on both sides. You know, even with Slim, with the shaming and the ad hom, he know that's fallacious. It's deceptive, you know. But for the most part, I like Slim. You know, I think Slim has to learn how to dumb it down, because a smart man can act dumb. You know, learn how to dumb it down and find easier verbiage. so the people can understand you. But outside of that, man, I think you out cold, bro.
I appreciate it, bro. Hey, Slim,
I'm
I
trying to
seen
say
you.
I want to respond to that too. So
Real quick, Nino, he just hit me up and said he got to go, so I'm gonna let him close out, and then it's on you.
Hey, listen. So brother Yasha. So and you can certainly go fact check this. Ad hominems are not the same as ad hominem fallacies. It's only an ad hominem fallacy if I'm avoiding the argument. If I call somebody an idiot or a mailman and I'm still making my argument, that's not a fallacy. Ad hominem yeah. So it's still an ad hominem, but it's not an ad hominem fallacy. So that part's not fallacious. If I call him a mailman, I'm actually attacking particularly his particular expertise in the area under review. So that's valid. So that's a valid disqualification of the source. So that part of the reason why I don't dumb anything down is because the people I'm talking to are pretending to be scholars or pretending to do scholarship or pretending to read scholars. And that's why I keep pointing out the people like Mudawa. Mudawa doesn't read scholars. He's not a scholar. He ain't learned under no scholars. That's why he says what he says. Neo Love, likewise, ain't learned logic from nobody. Nobody, period. So with that, so that's why I don't dumb things down.
You don't know that for sure.
Oh, I know that for sure because he said it. He said it out loud on in Paradigm Shift. He said out loud. He's like, I'm not talking about that kind of logic because he said you know what you just said is illogical. That's an appeal to authority fallacy. And I said, no, it's not. Like it's totally
that's not what I said. I never said I don't know logic or I don't study that kind of logic. I told you I know both kinds of logic.
DMG, see how you do?
That's what I told you.
It's a bunch of DMG. See how you do?
Anyway. I told you I know both kind of logics, but that's not the logic we were discussing. That's what I told you.
Well, he was trying to. That's my bad because he was trying to clarify. But go ahead, finish up, bro. Finish up. My bad.
Anyhow, this idea of faith versus evidence. Mudawa, again, this is him. He's talking about you accepted on faith. The Christian definition of faith, the biblical definition of faith, is not like without evidence. He's not going to be able to find anybody who defines the Greek word pistos in that fashion. So if I say I accepted something on faith, well, if I was talking about biblical faith, it certainly doesn't mean without evidence. That's not what pistis means. This is the same argument that got Amun Ra, the atheist debater, in trouble when he debated Michael from what's his name from Inspiring Philosophy. Now, I wanted to show this. This is an all or nothing fallacy. You see this here? The all or nothing fallacy is basically what Mudawa presented. When he got to arguing, talking about these various other religions, and you can't say that they're false. This is an all or nothing fallacy. This is what you call a false dichotomy. It's not the case that either I accept all the religions are true or that I say none of the religions are true. That's a logical fallacy. It's a logical fallacy. It's not true. I don't need to accept that all the religions, all the other gods are true in order for mine to be true. That's just not how you do logic. So we don't need to.
Who in the fuck said that, bro?
You did. You said how did?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't, bro. You're horrible at that, bro.
He closing out. Let him close out. Then get back to you.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and lie out. I mean, rock out. Go ahead and lie out.
Again, if you say how are you going to say these other ones are false? That's the all or nothing fallacy. It doesn't require because how do you say yours is right? That's the all or nothing fallacy. It's not the case that because I accept one that I don't get to reject the others. That's an all or nothing fallacy. It's a false dichotomy. I can say logically, I can logically sit here and say that there's only one dude named Kobe Bryant who was a Laker. And I can say that. If 75 other people popped up tomorrow and said that they were Kobe Bryant and played for the Lakers, accepting one doesn't mean I have to accept them all. I can accept one and reject the other ones, especially when the claims are mutually exclusive. When religions are claiming, like Buddhism, that says there is no God. This is why it was stupid that you start talking about the Buddhist God. What Buddhist God? What Buddhist God is there? What are you talking about? That's nonsense. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't need to comment on religion because that's not what Buddhism teaches. Buddhism does not teach that. That's stupid. This is a non-specialist talking about things nobody's talking about. So Buddhism is basically saying that there is no God and that the path is inner peace and enlightenment and self-denial and things like that, right? And then the Christian claim says the exact opposite. I don't have to accept both of them. I can actually say one of these two logically. They both can't possibly be true if they're making contradictory claims.
Slim, don't forget the NOI question.
Oh, right, yeah. And so by the way, yeah, NOI question, I get to that. So anyway, this idea of faith versus evidence. The biblical definition of faith is not that's what's accepted without evidence. That's your definition of blind faith, but that's not the biblical definition. If I said I accepted the Exodus on faith, that doesn't mean that there's no evidence for it. Then, because he's a non-specialist, I want you all to pay attention to this. He keeps saying no evidence, but then he keeps talking about primary sources. You can't say there's no evidence and then talk about primary sources. Those are two different things. Evidence is an entire umbrella. Primary sources is a particular type of evidence. Okay, don't tell me there's no evidence. You don't want to debate and say, no, I'm talking about the actual mainstream Buddhism, form of Buddhism, which I think came from, I think it was like the 18th sort of iteration of it. I got the books over there, but yeah, it's like the 18th something, like the 18th sort of iteration of Buddhism is the one that scholars believe is most like the original form of Buddhism. But yeah, but that original form of Buddhism, the one that scholars accept, is the mainstream form of Buddhism that most likely goes back to the beginning. That's not a deistic religion. That's nonsense. Anyhow, so when he says, how do you know? He says Jesus wouldn't behave like him. Mudawa, here's the fourth debate challenge. Here's the fourth debate challenge I have to you tonight. You tell me if you accept this debate. You said Jesus wouldn't act like me. I challenge you to a debate on that topic. I would bring scholarship to show the exact opposite. I'm challenging you to a fourth debate topic. It's the fourth one I've made tonight to you. You said Jesus wouldn't act like me. I'm challenging you to the fourth debate topic of how Jesus would have conducted himself. Fourth debate topic. Now DMG, on that note, I'm going to ask you a question before I run. He said...
Don't forget the NOI question. But go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Listen. Well, by the way, the NOI question, again, it's utter nonsense. Falsifiable for any number of reasons. Obviously, the person who is the pinnacle of their religion is obviously a white dude. And then really none of the other stuff that they say makes any sense. It's a belief system that started, around the time that people were concerned about Sputnik satellites, UFOs, and that kinds of thing. And it makes total sense where the stuff came from. It had particular sources that it drew from, and they're not original there. You can actually source criticism.
Why do you think there's more of a focus on Christianity in our community and not the NOI?
Oh yeah, well, a part of the reason is I think there's a general idea to avoid Islam itself. Anyhow, one, I would say that people want to go against Christianity because I think it's the one that's true. I think it's the one that's most prevalent. I think it's the one that's more robust. Everyone wants to take out the champion. There are of course softer targets with Islam in every way, textual critical ways, all that kind of stuff. But then people are also afraid of the way Muslims are going to respond. You can get on here and talk all sorts of crazy and stuff like that to Christians. You can't really do so with Islam and any particular faction of Islam. They'll do something to you. So there's all those reasons. But DMG, I'm asking you a question. And I want you to just be honest. You'd be lying on here. You'd be lying. I want to know if you'll be honest. Now, Mudawa said only.
Hey, I'm gonna give you your own medicine.
Listen,
your mom.
Hey, listen, that's fine. She'd be lying too. That's fine. Listen, you'd be on her line. But DMG, you heard this Negro get on here and say he was challenging me to a debate on the Exodus. Now, when he said he wanted a debate or a fade on video, didn't he say he wanted a debate on anything? He didn't limit it to the Exodus, did he? Now, let's be honest, DMG.
No, I don't remember him limiting it to the Exodus. No, he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember that.
Nobody on the call, because the Exodus, that wasn't even a topic that had come up. Neither was it the topic that came up today. Anybody, DMG, add anybody who's interested to the back chat, Paradigm Shift TV 314. And, well, Rastaman, you're a little crazy, so I don't doubt that you don't avoid it. But generally, it's an avoided topic. Bart Ehrman himself said that he does not get into textual criticism of Islam because Christians aren't going to blow his head off. And he said this publicly on numerous occasions. Generally, when you got to get into Islam and that kind of stuff, when branches of Islam, people avoid the topic because over there, you can't talk crazy to people. But again, fourth debate challenge, Mudawa. Now, but DMG, nobody on the call, and nobody's going to be able to go through and read through and see anything that he said that was talking about debating me on the Exodus. What he was talking about was debating me on any topic. He said it 75 times on the call. He wants it limited to the Exodus now because he won't be able to substantiate the claims he made. 4 debate topics have been presented. DMG, all you got to do, DMG, you got my number. B-Wash, you got my number. I got to run, but y'all let me know if he takes any of the 4 debate propositions I put forth tonight. The last of which being, he said Jesus wouldn't act like Leandre. I'm asking you.
All right, I got to play this before you leave, bro. I just hold tight.
I'm an angel. I kill firstborns while their mamas watch. I turn cities into salt. I even, when I feel like it, rip the souls from little girls. And from now till kingdom come, the only thing you can count on in your existence is never understanding why.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Slim Reaper. Neo Love, you up, bro?
Yes, sir, man. I got to stretch after that goddamn nap. You know, yeah,
Man, that nigga was long-winded. Long-winded
man.
trash.
Your mic sounding the same, so you might want to leave and come back while I'm talking.
All right.
All right. So first, we're gonna deal with Yasha ben Israel with this logic. So
The elite Hebrew. Go ahead.
so I'm looking at, we was talking about was his stance that all these nations that had these religions like Zeus, Osiris in Egypt, Peru, ISIS, none of these people believed in this shit. And we told him this was not logical for him to say that. And that's how the whole logic thing came up. So he was telling us the definition of logic, and I don't know what logic means and everything. So I got the definition of logical right here. The first one says of or according to the rules of logic or formal argument. That could be argued. Characterized by or capable of clear, sound reasoning. Bingo. That's one of the definitions I'm talking about. Look at the next one. Next definition, natural or sensible given the circumstances. These are the other definitions of logic that they don't want to talk about. That's what was meant when we said what he was saying was not logical. That's exactly what was meant. That what he was saying made absolutely no sense. The common man would not think like that. Normal thought, a normal working brain would not formulate the bullshit you just said. That's what was meant by what you're saying is not logical, illogical. It's bullshit. It makes no sense. People not gonna work hundreds of years, centuries, building fucking structures to honor some gods that they didn't believe were real in the first fucking place. They wouldn't do it. It's illogical. All right. So now let me deal with what Leandre said, because he sat here and told y'all a lie about fate, you know, because he said faith, you have evidence and this, that, and the other, and faith ain't without evidence. You ain't gotta you can have faith, but still go get evidence on some shit. That was bullshit what Leandre said. Hebrews 11:1 tells you now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
One more
It
time,
tells
brothers.
you
Read that
clearly.
again. Read that again, brother.
Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You ain't got no evidence. The substance is what you hoping for one day to get. That's what the book say faith is. It ain't no evidence in faith. That's what it's telling you. Your evidence is going to be some stuff you ain't going to see. You ain't going to be the proof. None of this stuff. That's what the Bible is about. And when Moody Y asked him that question, I'm like, why the brother said that? Talking about he believed because of evidence. No, you believe if by faith. That's what the book tells you. If you don't believe by faith, you ain't nothing in the kingdom of heaven. You can still get in with that knowing stuff. Well, I want God to do something for me first before I'm gonna believe in Him. I need some evidence. You can get in like that. You're gonna be the least in the king of heaven, in the kingdom of heaven. You're gonna be Thomas. That's what Thomas did. But the Bible tell you you're supposed to believe by faith. You walk by faith, not by sight. You ain't gonna see it. Go ahead, Moody Water.
Man, I don't think I don't think that a lot of people understand what's going on here. Me and his brother Neo had about a year of bad blood, like just like being at each other, and for us to have this type of dialogue is phenomenal to me. This brother is coming to you from a Christian perspective, a believer perspective. I'm coming to you from a non-believer perspective. And we got the brother Leandre that's coming to you from a perspective that is not anywhere on the table. This brother just literally sat up here and said that I challenged Mudiwa to 4 debates. Why do you keep challenging me to debates? Why don't you accept the one that I challenged you to? You don't have to. You don't have to do anything else. Just take the one, brother. Just take the one. That's all you got to do. Like, we don't have to do all this extra highfalutin and all that stuff. It's real simple. You know, the Exodus narrative, as written in the Bible. Do we have contemporaneous extra biblical evidence to support it? Yes or no? Now, what the brothers go try to do, if y'all paid attention, he's trying to lower the criteria of evidence. I'm going to say that again. What the brother's trying to do is lower the criteria of evidence. He's trying to put evidence to be able to eat damn near some National Enquirer stuff about a chariot wheel being found in the Red Sea. Hey, that's evidence. That's evidence. He's trying to lower the criteria for evidence. We're talking about credible, archaeological, historical, maybe even genetic evidence to support the claim. We don't have that, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I phrased it the way I phrased it. I said, "Are you a believer because of faith, or are you a believer because of evidence?" And that's why I said, if you're a believer because of faith, I'm forced to shut the fuck up. I'm forced. I cannot say nothing else after that point. If you tell me I believe these things on faith, like that brother Neo just said, he said, hey, I might not have the evidence of it, but on faith, I can't, how am I going to disagree with that? There's absolutely nothing I can say to disagree with that. Absolutely nothing. But when you start talking about, I have evidence to support this claim, guess what you're going to need? You're going to need to show and prove the evidence. You're going to need to not be jumping around all over the place. You're going to need to show the evidence of your claim. That's what I'm talking about, brothers and sisters. And Leandre is a very articulate guy, but he's not a very intelligent guy. He has an opinion about something, and he tries to force that opinion on the rest of us. And it's cool. That's all right. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? All right. It is what it is. But DMG, it's your thing. Do your thing. I'm finna go on mute for a few minutes.
All right, hey brother, we getting ready to go and shut down shop. We almost at 3 hours. I appreciate everybody coming on. Yasha, you got anything you want to close out with?
Yeah. I think that with Mudawa, and I think I like it. I like his tactic and what he is attempting to do. The way he kind of like fenced them up. Slim Reaper, he fenced them up, you know. But see, when he asked him that question, you know, Slim Reaper should have thought logically again, and told, like I would tell him, I would have told him that I don't do the arguments from ignorance, you know, just because there's no evidence of something doesn't make it so. You know, for you to say that there's no evidence of something, you know, to say something ain't so because there's no evidence or so, that is a logical fallacy, you know, and I don't argue fallacious arguments. That would have been my response. Now to my brother Neo, when your very first definition that you read, it said something about rules, right? Because logic has rules. You know, I like my definition, which is reasoning conducted under strict principles of validity. Strict principles, strict rules of validity. I like to ask you, which one of those strict principles, which one of those rules do you use to deem something is valid? Like a rule is like modus tollens, again, modus ponens. Can you define to me what is modus tollens and modus ponens? And can you also tell me the difference between those two rules? If you can't do that, then you can't have a conversation with me about logic, my friend. I rest my case.
All right. So
Neo,
first of all, I was having a conversation with Slim Reaper about logic. That's who I was having a conversation with. You butted Cherry Lil 2 sentences in, and that's how we got here. So the fact is, I told Slim Reaper that what he was saying was illogical. I'm the author of that statement. I wrote it myself. I didn't have to write it. I write it up here. I think, and it is so, right? So when I do that, you can't come tell me which version of that word I was using. I'm the one used the word. So I'm telling you which version of that definition I was using. Because what some of y'all Negroes don't understand is that dictionaries don't work like that. You can't just say it got to apply to every definition in the book. It's up to the fucking author what that word means, which definition he used, and the definition I use is the one I gave you. It was illogical to think the way you do. You abnormal, you slow, you retarded, that type of shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you niggas. I ain't playing with y'all niggas. Bro, you can't fucking outwit me. I know what the fuck I say. I choose my words very monogamous, nigga. Yeah, like that. So yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. I know what I mean when I say stuff,
That was
nigga.
the insider. That was the insider.
That was the insider. They ain't get that one. But, you know.
With strict principles of validity, not reasoning conducted by Neo's mouth. Okay.
Yasser, let me ask you a quick question, Yasser. Yasser.
Which
Brother
one
Yasser.
of these principles of validity do you deem something valid?
You might get it
Brother
one day when you
Yasser.
watch this show back.
Because all logic,
Brother
all
Yasser.
those definitions, all those
Brother Yasser.
definitions are subject to the rules of logic, brother. Every one
Brother
of those
Yasser.
definitions,
Brother Yasser. Brother Yasser. Is it logical for someone to say that the ancient people of the Nile Valley knew that the things they wrote on the walls about their deities was fake? They didn't really believe it. They just wrote it on the walls for no reason. Is it logical to say that?
I don't know the principle. I ask you if it is, what's the principle?
No. I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying, brother. Let me give you a more specific example. The 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 story of Mayat weighing the heart against a feather. Is it logical to say that them people never believed that to be a literal thing? They never believed that the duat was a real thing. They never believed in the afterlife, that they just was playing. They came up with all of these concepts because they didn't really believe that shit. It was just some fake shit that they came out with. Is it logical for us to say that about those people?
Okay, my answer again is the same. I don't know the rule to deem that logical or illogical. So therefore, I wouldn't even use that word.
He's stuck on this. He's stuck on this trying to demonize the word logical shit.
And I'm saying that as an example. If you don't know the rules to logic, y'all should keep that word out your mouth.
No. Okay. No. That's not. What you're doing is you're trying to stay. Hold 1 second. I want to say something to this brother. You're trying to stick to a strict academic definition of the word logic, and we're talking about a colloquial definition of the word logic. So guess what? We're having two different conversations. So don't sit up here and play that, because that nigga does that all the time, and I'm not gonna let you do that. Now, is it logical? Is it logical to say that the people of ancient Greece, that they believe that the Greek gods were real? Is it logical that they to say or infer that they believe that?
My response is I don't know the rules.
Brother, you're full of shit, Yasha. You're full of shit, Yasha. You're full of shit, Yasha.
You do, because you're talking like
Let's
you do.
ask the audience. Let's ask the audience. He don't know. He don't know the rules of logic.
What rule make it valid?
If you let me.
What
If to the
what
to the people in the audience, to the people in the audience,
Hold on,
to
y'all.
the people in the audience.
logic
Hold
conducted
on,
by
y'all.
strict
We got somebody else on,
principles
y'all.
of validity.
Hold on.
Strict principles,
Classic, tap in.
not loose principles.
Man, I had never thought I would see the day.
Hey, Classic. I was about to shut it down, but can you keep it going with the brothers?
Yeah, I got it. Before you do,
All right, brothers. I'm
That's
the Classic brothers. I appreciate y'all coming on at the Classic. Saying what you got to say.
Hey
I'm gonna jump
man,
on.
big shout out to you, DMG. I appreciate your platform. You know, if nothing else, this is definitely not an echo chamber. Everybody gets a fair chance to speak their piece, and I appreciate you for that, man. Enjoy your evening, brother.
Yes, sir. Shalom, brother. Shalom.
Still got to do that science and religion show, Mudawa.
Absolutely.
hey, but before you go, DM, I'm gonna just say this. You know what I'm saying? I've never thought I would ever see the day that these two individuals would be on the same panel working together. I never thought I'd see the damn day. I remember I told you, do not have them together because they like oil and water. But I never.
Well, we still like all in water because I disagree with what his stance is. I'm not an atheist, but even from a believer standpoint, I gotta agree with what he said.
Right, and even as a non-believer, I know that you have to take a lot of that stuff on faith, and that's all I'm saying.
I get
Business about to pick up. I gotta go. Business about to pick up. We got MVP Chris Harris in the house. I gotta go, but I'm gonna be listening in.
All right, oh my boy Chris, you in here?
Yeah, but
yeah.
What up, though? What up, though, y'all? What up? What up?
What up?
Shit. Y'all go ahead. What up?
I just want to say
That's Leandre on the other side.
before I let y'all rock, I want to say this. Even though these two brothers disagree, they united against a singular force of evil tonight, and I'm very proud. And they formed Voltron. But other than that, man,
We got Google Scholar in the building. Man, Leandre done left and everybody coming in. All right, y'all. I'm out, man.
All right, bro.
Hey, yo, Pianki, real quick. Hey, yo, Pianki, where you at?
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna give you a call right quick, then I'm gonna jump back on the panel and stuff like that. So, anyway, I'll be right back. So, yo, Google Scholar, you've been saying you wanted to debate me real quick since we here. What is it that you want to debate me on?
When did I say that?
I'm about to bounce.
I mean, every time I'm on a panel or in the chat, you always say that you want to debate me. Yeah, what is it that you want to debate me about?
I don't even know what you're talking about. It's the first time I came across you since the year started.
Oh, okay. You know what? Maybe that's not you. Maybe it's somebody else.
Yeah, right now we beating on we whooping on a certain individual that
that Christian follows Sophia.
right. We're gonna make a pinata out of this dude. The dude that likes to job shame hard-working black men.
And we getting Terry next. Terry, he next. Goddamn it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Terry was just waffling.
Hey, I'll be right back. I gotta get DMP a call. I'll be right back.
Let me not say Terry. Let me say Yasha. Yasha was just
Yasha, Yasha, man. Talking about he don't understand the motives and the man. Come on, man, get out of here, man.
As if that's applicable to him giving me information to prove the validity of the Exodus narrative outside of his faith. Make it make sense, Terry. I mean, Yasser. Make it make sense, brother. Don't side with a nigga because because you like the way he talks. Side with reality. Don't side with a nigga just because you like the way he speaks. Because I know I'm not. My position in the community is a very, very it's not very many of me. It ain't very many of us that's non-believers in the community. Understood. So when people that's believers say, hey man,
this guy has some validity to what he's saying. I think y'all need to take heed to that, bro. I think y'all need to take heed to that, because if I can side with believers, y'all need to take heed to that as well. Like something, y'all got to start having independent thought. Like, wait a minute, what was that word again, Neo? Logic. Y'all got to have a logical thought process. Not just bandwagon, not just bandwagon. Oh man, I don't like this motherfucker, so I'm not gonna agree with nothing they say.
And I thought
Oh,
me
I
and
don't.
Terry was cool. Like, I mean, y'all shit was cool. Like,
Come on, bro. We got to be bigger than that on some level.
You all know me. I disagree with everybody.
yeah, but you don't disagree with us that the people who made these fucking temples and monuments and
Hey, you
spent
low, Neo.
centuries
You kind of
doing
low.
that.
No,
The
I
people,
agree
the,
with
the
you on
people,
that.
the people that built these
Hey,
temples
Neo, you kind of low. It's like nobody can hear you,
still
G.
know.
No, we
So,
hear him. We
No,
hear
I'm
him.
hearing
That's
Neo
your
good.
connection.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
your
sorry.
connection.
I'm saying these people that built these temples and put all the men in their community to work for centuries to build this shit to these gods. They didn't believe in this stuff. That's what he said. That's
Yeah,
illogical to
I
think.
was there. Remember, I don't agree with him on that.
Right, right. Nobody agree with that. Like they sacrificed their babies to these gods, and they didn't
Right,
believe these gods was real.
right.
Well, they just didn't
Everybody,
like the
everybody,
motherfucker.
everybody in the
Yeah,
kingdom had to die when the Pharaoh died, because they were supposed to go to the afterlife with him. They like
I'm
Right.
gonna be
literally,
real with
they
you. I'm
literally
not listening.
sacrificed human beings in some cases
Even
to
if you can
to.
show me a scholar that said that, I'm not listening to nobody tell me they didn't believe that. He made that up.
Huh?
No, I say any scholar that is gonna write and say they didn't believe in those gods. I'm saying
Right,
they made that up.
right. Or they just bogus and pseudo.
Right.
So, this is the thing I gotta ask right here, Mudawa.
Mm.
Hey, that was really, 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 really devastating what you did. Want to head up, Neo? You were bloodthirsty as ever. You know what I'm saying? You didn't leave Google Scholar nothing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ripped it off the bone and eat it and sucked out the marrow. But I just gotta ask this though. One thing I found interesting, uh, Mr. McSpooky, aka Slim Reaper, pretty much basically said at the end of the day, right, that he would challenge you to a debate that Jesus would act just like him. You see what I'm saying? What are y'all thoughts on that? That kind of that got me a little. I
What
want to
kind
know
of
y'all
debate is
thoughts on that.
that, man? What kind of debate is that?
Yeah, what's y'all thoughts on that's some? I want to. That kind of got me a little bit. I hope
Well,
not.
first of all, that's an opinionated debate.
Right.
Your speculation. And second of all, I do not believe Jesus would act like that. I'm sorry.
Man, none of us would
Oh
get our
man.
souls redeemed if he. Damn, boy. He a
If
damn.
anything, wait a minute, wait a minute. If anything, and I know y'all, some of y'all gonna be mad about what I'm about to say. If anything, Jesus would act like me. I'm the
Well, I
people
don't know
scholar.
about that either.
I'm not sitting up here
Look,
trying to.
I'm
I'm not sitting up
50-50.
here.
I'm in the middle on this, and I don't think he act like none of y'all. Yeah, no.
Hey, I'm with
It would.
Neo with that.
It wouldn't be Jesus. Didn't Jesus wouldn't go around job shaming people, talking about, oh well, oh, you pick wheat over there on the other side of Bethlehem. I don't like you. He would never do no shit like that. Come on now.
What?
He was the people's champ.
Yeah, what
He
happened
was
to come as you are? What happened to come as you are?
right.
You know
You
what I'm
know what I
saying?
mean? These niggas is crazy, bro. These niggas is crazy, bro. This is what happens when you there's a imbalance of education and theology, and you trying to cram the two together, without using common sense. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, at some point, you gotta say, hey man, I love my God. I'm walking this walk. I'm doing my thing. I'm trying to get into the kingdom of heaven. But I don't have to say some of this egregious stuff that these cats be saying. You just sit up here and said every other mythology, every other spiritual system out there is bullshit, except for
Right,
mine. Oh.
right, right.
And he started talking about, right, like he started talking about like certain scriptures that I'm familiar with that was like these other gods are nothing. There's spittle in my eye. He didn't even say that part, but that's the rest of it that he left off. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? He didn't say these other gods didn't exist. He said they're nothing. They're nothing. It can't compare to me. They power
Right.
level ain't. I'm on Super Saiyan level 7, and they like on 3s. And
Man.
I'm the big dog. That's all he was saying. He didn't say these niggas wasn't real. He didn't say they didn't exist.
Man, this shit crazy.
The
Like it's
Bible
like
absolutely says that there are many gods, but to us, Israel, there is but one. It says that
absolutely.
clear as day. Then it talks about Psalms 82. If I got the number wrong, forgive me, but it's Psalms 82, verse 1. God sits in the congregation of the mighty. And if you go to the Hebrew, it says Elohim sits in the congregation of Elohim, and he
Yeah.
judges amongst them wisely.
Yeah, what you're saying is not controversial among biblical scholars. They admit that the Bible in the beginning was enotheistic. There were other
No,
gods. As a matter,
he started Dennis. He started telling me, oh yeah, Michael Eisner believes in many God theory, but nobody else does. Every Bible scholar believes in this. Every Bible scholar know that there was other gods that existed. Everyone. What Bible scholar don't know this?
And every biblical scholar knows that the original Hebrews are polytheists. Well, y'all forgot about that? Y'all just we gonna throw that away. That they had multiple gods
Well,
before
I'm
they
not
got into
even
the.
if
no,
you discredit
I
that
don't know
part.
if they would say that Mudiwa, but what they would say is that originally the religion came from a a, a, a polytheistic root, but the Hebrews themselves were more enotheistic than they weren't monotheists. Then let's say that.
Okay, I can
I don't
rock with
know if
that.
they
I
would
don't
say
have a
that
problem with
either. I don't like what Mudawa said better than what Dennis said. Yeah.
that.
I don't think the religion itself came from a polytheistic root, and I don't think no Hebrew or no believer of the Bible would say that. The people may have came from a polytheistic root, but the religion itself came from one God that had a connection with Abraham. That's where it came from.
No.
Well,
This
what,
is
but
what I'm saying.
once it got to that point, yes. But prior
Yeah,
to
when it
that,
got to there,
Prior
but
to
I'm
that, it was a
saying,
different religion. That wasn't the same.
what do we call that?
what religion was
What would we
that?
call the worshippers of El?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's the same L because L, it was more than one L, I believe.
yeah, but in Deuteronomy 32, right, when it says the Most High gave all the basically, I'm paraphrasing here, but it's like the Most High gave all the other nations their gods, basically. It is
Right.
a yeah. There is El worship in the Bible itself.
Absolutely.
Okay. I can see to that. You're right. You reminded me of a scripture I had forgot about.
And there's archaeology that supports it. There's artifacts that support it.
Yeah, there's a statue of an inscription about Yahweh and his Asherah.
Yeah.
And here's
So
that. Bro, like, nah, see, I don't know about that now, Dennis.
No, it's a real
I know
artifact that they
there
found.
is literature that says that,
No, it is an inscription.
but I don't know if that's like in line
this
with
is
the Israel
You
faith.
can look it up.
no, this
I
is this
seen
is
the artifact.
pre-Abrahamic. This is definitely pre-Abrahamic.
Right. That's pre-Abrahamic.
Definitely.
I don't know if that's in line with Israel. I don't know. That's another nation that got that
No,
inscription. That's not the
yeah,
Israelite.
we understand that, but what we're saying is that
But that's all I was saying. Like other
if you
people
go
might
to
have
the
said
root of
this.
it, it didn't start with Yahweh. That's what we're saying.
And as far as I remember from my research, those other nations that had a deity named Yahweh, it was assumed that that was the same God. It is not 100% that that was the same deity that was being worshipped. It's
So it's
just
a
they got
different
similar
Yahweh.
names. I'm saying they got similar names.
No, but we're talking
Not
about
sure.
Yahweh, not so. Unless you're saying
But I
it's
already
a
know
different.
back then it was the tricontinental roots. It was the consonants and no vowels. So I'm saying the inscriptions They assumed it was the same deity being talked about. It's not written the same. It's not the same tetragrammaton. It's not. It's a different language.
Mm.
That's what I'm
What's the
saying.
different language?
It's a different culture. The one that's talk, I think that's Egyptian. That's talking about
No,
Yahweh and Asher. It's not Hebrew.
no, it's not Egyptian.
Well, it's not
No, it's
Hebrew.
not Egypt. It's damn it.
What is it?
It's not Hebrew. I don't know what it is.
I mean, I think it would be indigenous Canaanite.
I don't. It's probably in
Oh,
some
Phoenician
Canaanite
or
script.
some shit like that. It's Sumerian.
No, it's in some Canaanite script, I think, but I don't remember exactly which one. But it's definitely talking about Yahweh.
Yeah, because Greg used to talk about it all the time. I don't remember where he said it came from, but it wasn't from Israel. I remember that much.
No,
Right.
but Yahweh is not originally from Israel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it
That's what
is a
I'm saying,
Canaanite
but
deity.
I'm saying there's no guarantee that either one of them words are being pronounced right. There's no guarantee that the Hebrew name is being pronounced right, and there's no guarantee that the other name is being pronounced right. Because back then there were no vowel letters being recorded. It was only the
So
consonants being recorded. And the people who knew the language knew how to pronounce these names. We could be pronouncing them totally wrong. That's why they
okay,
got
so
three pronunciations of the Tetragrammaton right now. They got three different ways people are arguing about which one is the right way to say the word Yahweh, Yahuwah, Yahweh, and all this other stuff.
no,
Yahoo. What they say?
I agree with you
What's that?
somewhat, but
Yayo and
what you're
Yahoo and
saying,
all that shit.
Right.
what you're saying is that my view is also possible. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying
Okay.
it's not definite. It's not definite that
Yeah.
they're the same
No.
deity.
No, first
But
of all, that's one of the other things why I got on Leandre for when we were talking, because he was saying like definite. When we deal with the history, there's nothing definite when you deal with history. We're
Right.
talking
Well,
about
I'm just
what.
pointing out the opposite. You pointed out the positive of what you were saying, and I pointed out the reciprocal, the opposite of it.
Yeah,
That's
but that's
all.
what history is. It's probability, what most likely happened.
right,
Yeah.
right. But you got to
Yeah,
remember, dude is a fundamentalist, so it's like it's hard to have a real build with fundamentalists. Like it's hard to make them concede some common ground on anything. You know, it's like you got to remember the guys that we're talking to. These are apologists, and the apologists are fundamentalists, and some of them are even young Earth creationists. So we're dealing with several different paradigms within our community. So it's like a lot of layers to this onion that we got to peel back on these cats. And
yeah.
I try to.
Young Earth
That's the reason.
creationism is just untenable, though.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't have any, but they lean on it, and that's where most of
Hmm.
this pushback is coming from because we're hearing young Earth creationism in blackface from some of these cats. You know what I mean? And it's like, how do we? It's like we can't even, and they're not willing to admit it, and that's like the fucked up part about it because we can't even open the dialogue and have real dialogue until we understand a person's premise. Like this guy gave us five. It's like been 5 hours now that this guy been hemming and hawing, and basically having a fundamentalist ideology. And I'm pretty sure you scratch the surface, it's gonna be some young Earth creation under that stuff because he was defending Jensen way too much.
Who?
Leandre.
No, he is a
He,
young Earth creationist. I think it was last year. We had a conversation, and he was we had a conversation about the starlight problem, and he was quoting me like some astrophysicist. He said that provide an answer for the starlight problem. Yeah, so yeah, he
so
is a
there it
young
is.
Earth
There.
creation.
It's like how do we have serious dialogue with you have African American fundamentalists, young Earth creationists. Whoa, we got a lot of layers of the onion to peel back. and then they want to be pompous and arrogant on top of it. It's hard, bro. It's like I'm just trying to get my people to have at least be somewhat rooted in reality. At least be somewhat rooted in reality. It's like I don't get it, bro. But but this is supposed to be the
I'm
super team.
really, yeah. I'm, to be honest, Moody. I'm kind of over it. I haven't talked like for the past like 6 to 8 months. I haven't really had a dialogue with a Christian or a Bible believer. I've been mostly talking to Muslims. Like,
Mm.
yeah,
See, this me. I'm just now talking to Christians. Like I didn't even. I was like, I thought they were like. I was like, yeah, I'm not even talking to the Christians. I was on the Hebrew Israelites heads and the
hmm
Moors heads. I didn't think that they were this gone, bro. I didn't know that it was a community of them that are like so detached from reality. I thought they were just, hey, I believe in Jesus and I go to church and I follow the biblical narrative and I'm trying to live. That was my impression of them. I didn't know that it was like this. The fundamentalism was this deep in them.
yeah. But you see, when it comes to Christianity, I'm gonna be real with you. This brand of Christianity is really only prevalent in the United States and in some parts of Africa.
Mm,
If you go to like
okay.
Europe and so on, their Christianity is a more liberal kind of Christianity where mostly they accept the science. They
Okay.
view Christianity from a different perspective. They
Almost
see.
almost a secular perspective.
I wouldn't say secular. They still believe in the religion, but they see a lot of the stories in the Bible as just, allegorical. A lot of the
Okay.
stories are, yeah.
Okay,
So
I can
so
I can rock with that. See, that's the ones I like. I like that. Like I met some. I lived in a community for a while, and there was some European Jews, and I used to
mhm.
talk to those guys, and I was like, and I had got to the conversation about Jewish zealots, and they were like, no man, we're not. That ain't us. Those people exist in our community. He was like, but we're secular Jews. We're Jews by culture.
Yeah,
And
that's
I was
what I
like,
was about to say to you. Like, from my experience, most Jews don't really even believe in the supernatural. They just follow the customs.
right, right.
Hmm
And I think that that's the next evolution in out because we can't deny it. Us as being African Americans or Afro people in the Western Hemisphere,
hmm
Christianity is part of our culture. It is what it is. But there has to be the next evolution of it to where it becomes more cultural and secular. That's why I had asked the brother. My initial question was, "Are you as such by faith, or as you such by evidence?" Because once you get to the point to where you as such by faith, that's
hmm
cool. I mean, I got you. That means you're using your real brain now. You know what I mean? But this is just part of my culture. I get it. Okay, hey, man, I love the Christmas holidays. I love Easter. I love the concept of baby Jesus. I love the concept of the redemption story, and I love the concept of the Book of Job. I love those concepts. You don't have to take that shit as being literal. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to internalize that shit as like this really happened. You can say, hey man, this is a great story. Like I think the Book of Job is a dope story. You know what I mean? About being standing on your square, being diligent to what you believe in. That's a dope story. Is it a factual story? No. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the whole Exodus narrative. It's a dope story, bro. It's the people that were beat down, and it's the story of the people that were beat down and pulled themselves up and said, you know what, I'm tired of y'all shit. We gonna go do our own thing. That's a dope story. Is it literal? No, it's not. I mean, like it's just like you have to look at the story for what it was for, and it's like I don't know, man. Like we be too literal with this shit. Classic Craig, you still there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I'm just listening to the great elder speak his speaking wisdom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's never hate. It's only factual. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just
Yeah,
I was just
man, I
just
love
looking.
you know, bro. I'm an advocate and a fan of my people.
Right.
If nothing else, y'all know that. I'm an
Yeah.
advocate and a fan of my people. I don't mean us no harm in no way, shape, form, or fashion.
I know.
I just want us to be able to grow, to be able to, you know, like how do we go from our current state? What does the next incarnation of us look like? What can what can our great grandbaby say? Hey man, them motherfuckers back in the early 21st century, they was on it. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
that's what we have to be laying down. We can't jump in the time machine and go backwards. Start talking about we wanna put fringes on our Jordans and shit. Like, come on, man. What are we doing?
Yep.
Like,
Yep. And I got you with that move. Why you just wanna we all should just move forward, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of
right.
people have basically said that religion has pretty much kept us back, right? And it kept us archaic in belief and superstition. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I've seen those arguments. You know, me and Ratchet, we do some work on that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I just have to say this, man. It was one heck of a battle. I never thought I would ever see you and Neo Love join forces to fight the forces of evil. I'm glad this is recorded. You know what I'm saying? I will forever show this as a testament to what happens when an unbelievable force come against two former enemies and how they would have to team up against this unbelievable force. I just couldn't believe it, bro. It was epic. But Mudawa, you said you had you wanted to do, like, did you get it off your chest, or you said you want to do a show tomorrow? How
No, absolutely. I don't even want to speak of it on tape. I just want to put it together
right.
and then put it out there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Whenever you got some free time, it ain't gonna be. I'm not gonna go long winded with it. Maybe a half hour, 45 minutes. I want to drop my info and get out the way because we have to stop this BS. It has to stop. Like
Right.
it has to stop. I don't get this, and just for people that's listening and think I'm crazy with what I'm saying, like there is no big eyes and little U's in the black community. None.
All right.
Zero. You
Yep.
know what I mean? There is no the statistics the statistics bear out that we are pretty much the same. You know, the average African American income is about $40,000 to $50,000. The average African American household income is about 80, $90,000. The average African American wealth is dismal. Like, so we got to stop all this pump faking like we better than each other and doing better than each other. That shit is bullshit. As a people, we out here doing bad. You know, and all this highfalutin Negroes that, you know, whether you have uh, uh, degrees or whether you have a good side hustle. We all the same, and I think we need to start understanding that we got to stop putting emphasis on, hey, I got this, that makes me better than you. Like, man, come on, man.
Yeah.
You look around you. I mean, we come on now. Where yeah, we got a couple LeBron Jameses, we got a couple Jay-Z's, we got a couple Rihanna's, we got a couple, you know, elite black folks, but as a whole, it's like literally, bro. There's like the five richest people. Last I checked, the five richest people in America have more wealth than every African American combined. I'm gonna say that again. The five richest people in America have more wealth than Every African American combined. That's including your Jay-Z's, your Beyonce's, your Bob Johnsons, your Rihanna's, your whoever y'all think getting money. 5 motherfuckers got more money than all of us. So why is we sitting up here having these conversations, like talking disparagingly about other people's money?
Yeah.
Like that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Like that's insanity, bro. That's insanity to me. But it's because we haven't been bringing these numbers out. But I'm not gonna go into it because this is something I want to go into more detail on the program tomorrow. And I I'm not mad at our brother. I'm not mad at our brother DeAndre. He's just misguided. He don't know no better.
No,
Nobody ever sat him down.
he's a pompous monster. It's all love
Yeah.
with Leandre, and I like him. I like the brother too. He's just a, he
I
wanted to
didn't
be.
say I didn't say I like him. I said I understand him. I didn't
I
say nothing
understand.
about liking.
I understand. I like kind of what he, his. Well, I'm put it like this. I don't like everything about him. I like the drive that he has, but the ambition. But I just, he's like Hitler a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's the only problem he got. You know what I'm saying? But
Hitler with no power.
yeah, Hitler with no power. Thank God. Boy, like when he hit that, when he talk about the IQs and the job and stuff like that, is your job based off your IQ and stuff like that? I'm like, oh man, it's totalitarian.
Man, which
Totalitarian.
is which is which is completely ridiculous shit, bro. Which is extremely
Hey,
ridiculous. And I get it. The data exists, but do we base the reality on the data? Because okay, uh, I don't think you have to have a extraordinarily high IQ to be an electrician, but I'm pretty sure an electrician and someone that graduated from college after 4 years, I'm pretty sure 4 years into being an electrician, the electrician is going to be on a better career path than
yeah,
that other person. And
and,
I'm
and
not knocking the person that went to school. I'm saying that we're not having honest conversations with ourselves.
yeah, we're not because and not only that, job security. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That it just and yeah, Mudawa, I can't wait to bring that out. That's gonna be something. You know what I'm saying? But I do have to say this. Because we've been on for like 3 hours, man, and I
Oh
appreciate you.
yeah, we gotta shut it down.
Yeah, but I got a message, just to tell everyone one thing over here at Paradigm Shift and the whole effing show, right? We're coming up with a tournament and we're working on our tournament. It's gonna be a banger. We already got some people that's, willing to participate, you know what I'm saying? Um, we are pushing and moving the bar to do something that no one else have done before, right? Especially with our tournament, right? But when I get more further details, I enlighten the whole crew and everything. But other than that, man, this was one heck of a blast. Hey, Google Scholar, Mudawa, you got any closing statements before I shut it down?
Hey, go ahead, brothers. I'm good. I just
I'm
said all
good
I need to
too.
say.
I just want to say peace. We should do this more often.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Google, you be disappearing sometime, man. We can't find you, man. But I'm we'll reach out because the more and more shows we do, the more and more and more and more support we get. So I appreciate y'all. But what we got coming up next on the 16th, we have my brother from Oak Cliff, the one and only Nobody Cares, aka Trust and Believe the Gospel. You know what I'm saying? He's a member of the super team. He looked like Snoop Dogg. He's 6'9" height. You know what I'm saying? Tall as hell, black as hell, and love Jesus with all his might. He's going up against old shows one and only A1, right? They're gonna have their conversation about the history and if the Bible was for everybody. Now,
What's the conversation?
now check this out. Nobody's stance is the Bible was for everybody. A1 stance was the Bible was only for the Israelites. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And A1 doesn't believe, he doesn't believe or follow any type of Abrahamic religion. Nobody trust and believe the gospel. This guy right here that, DeAndre's best friend. You know what I'm saying? He, well, speaks for himself with the giant cross on his icon. But like I said, trust and believe the gospel. Nobody cares. But he obviously cared for you, even though nobody cares for you. Kind of wild. I don't get it. But
I like nobody's slogan when he drop his slogan. I'm a nobody trying to tell everybody about a somebody or something he say. I like that. It's kind of fly the way he puts it together.
ass and just, but the dude, I met the brother. You know what I'm saying? Mudawa, I took him to the same spot that Ashwan Kwesi goes to.
Okay.
And the same thing, one thing he said when we walked up in there, it's a little restaurant called Sanko. This place needs some Jesus. I said, come on, bro. Come on, dog. It's not, and what I did, I just got him some Blue Nile. I said, here, man, Blue Nile, some frankincense and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I said, so you can get a little more of the smell of the culture, you know?
Hey, man, do me a favor, bro. Try to track down, since he in your hometown, try to track down Brother Ash Ra. And I think it'll be a good conversation. Based on today's conversation, I think that Brother Ash Ra would be a good person to at least have a dialogue with about how did the ancient people of the Nile Valley, how did they perceive their spiritual system, and he is a respected elder in the community. He's been on this square for a long time, so we can and I'm pretty sure that and I'm not throwing shots at anybody, but Ashra is a very respected elder.
Oh man, Mudawa, you fell off.
Yeah.
Oh man, he fell off. Dang, I hate when that. But hey, but one thing about it, I get what Mudawa was gonna say.
He goes to Ancient Kemet at least twice a year for the past 20 years. So, like, if he could say, did these people genuinely believe this, or was it some BS?
Right.
Because there's too many. I don't appreciate that brother saying that, and I know it was said out of ignorance. It wasn't said out of malice. So that's why I don't really get too mad at him. There's a difference, If you say something out of malice, I'm on your head. If you say something out of ignorance, I can understand it.
I say it's said out of malice, but that's just me. That's just me. I'll be back there.
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, bro.
I'll be back there too, man. So they say out of malice. You trying to be nice on there. You know what I'm saying? No line.
Right.
But no, it is something I'm working on. He's speaking at the cafe. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, it's kind of, I wouldn't say because of the connect where we are, because Paradigm Shift is pretty much the middle ground in the conscious community. So it's a
shout out to Paradigm Shift.
Yeah, shout out. But it's a lot of politics.
Shout out to the whole effing show.
Yeah, the Wild Wild West, the Black Wild Wild. You know what I'm saying? The harder they fall, Wild Wild West, the whole effing show. But that's a lot of politics to that, because it's when they'll see him here, the fangs will come out. You know what I'm saying? But something I am working on. I'm working with the owner of the cafe. He and I was gonna have a conversation with that, because that is his big homie, grand elder. You know what I'm saying? And I'll let you know, if you'll be like the second person I let know, Mudawa. You know what I'm saying? If you met him,
I'd like to moderate that. If you can get him, I'd like to moderate that conversation. I don't even want to, you know what I mean? Because there's certain things that I know about the ancient culture that others might not know, that I can tease out of elder to get him to bring out the information. You know what I mean?
Right. And you met him before, right, Mudawa?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna need that picture, man, because that is definitely to do, because that's why I kind of been a little away. There's some things I've been working on. You know what I'm saying? So I just been letting everybody else have a little spotlight. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to let you know I appreciate y'all, and that would be a future event that will happen here on Paradigm Shift and Whole Left Show. But
and that's a huge feather in the cap of the platform too.
Yep.
We get the elder Ashra. You got to remember, and I'm not being funny when I say this. We don't know how long some of these cats gonna be around. So, while they here, whether you agree, disagree, or not, if they've been dropping knowledge for 30, 40 years, You know, we need to get them. We need to get them recorded. You know what I mean? So for the next generation, even if you don't disagree, even if you don't agree with the information, we at least need to have the archives of that era of our conscious community, if that makes any sense.
Right. Right. And you know what? You know what? I kind of got a little idea what I could do. You just gave me an idea because the elder himself is speaking at Sankofa Cafe here in Dallas. So now that I think about it, you know what I'm saying, I would have to just go ahead and make that connection. But and that's something that will be done. And you know, Mudu, I appreciate you because you gave me an idea. You know what I'm saying? And this is what happens when you listen to your elders. You get ideas. You know what I'm saying? You get ideas. But other than that, folks, this was Paradigm Shift. I'm Classic Craig. That was Google Scholar. And that was the great Dr. Decorum himself, a.k.a. Little Lucifer, Mudawa on Tuesday, Mugabe on Wednesday, and Biwa the rest of the other days. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm Classic Craig. This was fun. You saw it here on Paradigm Shift on the Whole Effing Show. Till then, next time, later. And hey, DMG stole this from me, and I'm taking it back. We'll be black at it again, family. I came up with it first. DMG, fight me over that statement. Later.